Hi, everyone. Sorry about that technical issue right off the bat. Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Hi, everyone. Sorry that we're running a little bit late today. There's a specific South African co-host who's not very good at communicating times, if you want to know why. I'm sorry. But that's why, and we're here now. Let's see who's here. Uh, Hi, CJ. As usual, CJ is keeping an eye on us. We are in good hands. Hi, Kip Kitty. Number 7.
I'm curious if anyone in the chat has seen the Bubba interview, the 4-hour Bubba interview, and what they thought about it.
Let us know. I haven't. Have you?
I got a little over an hour into it, and
that's a lot.
Called it quits.
I'm sure that's more than I would have. I'm going to be honest.
I'm curious to know how it all turned out. So I may
let us know.
Just watch
let
it
us
in
know
segments and see. Yeah, but the first hour was. He's definitely on the McKinsey train. We'll just say that.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But of course, I think we all knew that.
I think we did. Yeah. Yeah. But as I said, let us know in chat if you have seen it. We're curious to know. And then also, okay, so I'm going to give some background to this show. You and CJ covered this interview with Chris Cuomo and Mackenzie Shirilla's dad, and I was like, okay, that's great. Like, I'll watch it later. And then I get a message like, you have to cover it. And I'm like, why? Oh my god, why? No, I can't tell you. So
that's probably been horrible for you.
You know how many times I've nearly checked, like just like, oh, but I shouldn't. So finally, I'm gonna find out what this is about. I'm looking forward to it. Keep kidding.
You're gonna like it. You're gonna be entertained.
Am I?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, let's get straight into it. I do have it ready here. And then we'll stop as we go through. There we go. Okay, and I've got it on a little bit of a faster speed, but not too fast, because I do kind of remember that he speaks quickly, this guy. It's like, as is, it's pretty quick. So let me just put that in chat. And put that there, and that there, and us there. Yeah, okay. All right, let's see. I can't wait anymore. I'm sorry, we have to we have to start now.
Misgivings about Steve Shirilla decided, despite all of his misgivings about the media, which you'll hear about, and how he feels about the documentary crew that made the crash that you'll hear about, I'll tell you now, and I'll say it during the interview. I invited him on, and his wife, and Mackenzie. I'm happy to talk to any of them, because who knows the context better than any of them, especially Mackenzie. Steve said yes. The wife didn't want to be on camera, but she's here during the interview, and you'll hear her. And you'll make of it what you will. But Steve Shirilla has a case to make, and you're going to hear it right now. Steve Shirilla, thank you for taking the opportunity. You took a big sigh when we first said hello. Where are you right now in terms of your head and your heart?
You know, I'm disappointed. I'm frustrated. I'm unable to help my daughter personally, and I should have been yelling and screaming what we're going to talk about right from the start. And it's one of the mistakes I made during her thing, is that I should have been shouting and saying what I know and what I feel is the truth. and I was advised by her lawyer not to say anything, keep quiet, and it was a mistake. So,
Well, all I can do is give you the opportunity and go through what we know and
Okay.
the questions. So let's give people a little bit of context. Life before the crash
okay.
was what for you, Steve?
Happy. I had my daughter. We were a family, a normal family. You know, nothing. I went to work. I came home. I talked to my daughter. I helped my daughters. I pretty much, you know, a normal family in America. I mean, that's the best way I can put it. You know,
Okay.
I mean, being that I've been vilified, that I'm some horrible parent, that's not necessarily true, and it's unfortunate. So,
What were you doing? What was your occupation?
I was an art teacher at a Catholic school.
And the documentary, just to skip a little bit,
Okay.
after the documentary, is it true that the school put you on leave?
Yeah, they got a bunch of calls from some watchdog website or something, and the school's known about my daughter and how I feel right along for the past 4 years. But they decided to come to some kind of investigation, which I really don't think was much of an investigation. It was just they were just trying to get me out of the limelight, and so they don't seem bad. So I don't know. It's unfortunate how the diocese handled it.
Are you working now?
It's not him, it's them.
No, I would be
Right.
on summer break. I'm on my contract to the end of July. And my understanding is they're not going to re-sign me for the next year, but I wouldn't have re-signed with them anyways after how they've handled this. They've just made matters worse, you know, so
Okay.
by placating to
Can you
the mob,
pause it?
it's unfortunate for me.
Yes, I think
Do
that's
you
a very
think-
good time to pause it.
Did he just say they don't want him back, but he's going to go back anyway?
No, he said that they don't want him back, but that's actually okay because he wouldn't want to go back with the way that
Oh,
they behaved.
okay.
So he's
Okay.
just like, I was actually going to break up with them. It's just that they did it first, but I was about to do it. Yeah, that's what he said.
That you'll be able to get another job easily?
I don't know. I haven't tried. I got the summer. We'll see. You know, I might not ever teach again. You know, I'm a good teacher. I'm a passionate teacher. To be canceled by the mob is just sad and disappointing.
How often do you get to speak to your daughter?
Quite a bit. Quite a bit. We see her twice a month, and we talk to her quite a bit.
How would you describe her disposition and how she's doing?
Yeah,
She's in jail. I mean,
absolutely.
she's in jail, so she's struggling with that overall. But I mean, she's in jail. Every day is the same day for her, you know. So I don't know. She's surviving.
How do you think she's handling herself in this situation and the media?
I think she's handled herself well in the media and stuff. I don't look. She's in jail. I don't know what everybody expects her to be. I don't know what you would expect her to be.
Remorseful. Oh my goodness. Okay, so do you think that Chris Cuomo is like trying to touch on this disciplinary stuff and he's kind of just like, well, she's in jail. What is she supposed to be doing?
Yeah, I think Chris Cuomo, he did a really good job, and you'll see that throughout the interview. But yeah, I think he's trying to get him to understand that there's accountability that no one's seeing.
Yeah. Like every day is the same day for her. It's not really the
Yeah.
jail's job to see to her daily entertainment. Like,
She's doing the best she can. Yeah.
You know what straight gives you?
Really works.
She's going to get
I
out.
believe she sees a future. She's about to take classes, start taking some schooling. I mean, it's jail. I'm not in there, so I don't really know how it all really works and how it is for her every day. I can only guess, but I overall, I think she's doing the best she can. That's the best way to put it.
Has she had any trouble inside?
Define trouble. You know, does she
Fights,
No
drama,
No.
being
There's drama.
solitary?
No. Having altering her clothes kind of stuff, or just being out of place. You know, they have to be in a certain area at certain times. Sometimes she's out of place. I'm not in there, so I can't say for She's not violent. There's no fighting. It's not like that at Marysville.
Oh my god.
What do you want us to know about the allegations made by the ex-inmate who says she was your daughter's lover and that your daughter has girlfriends? What do you make of that?
I don't know anything about that. I'm not feeding that. It's not what I want to be here to talk about. I don't know. I can't speak for that. You can't believe everything you hear.
Let me tell you why I ask. I don't care if your daughter has girlfriends or not. Doesn't matter to me at all. However, if I were her parent, I would know.
It doesn't matter to me. She's in there. That's her life. I can't. Nothing I can say or do is going to change anything she does in there. Look, she's almost 21 now. She's been in jail for almost 4 years now. I mean, all I can say is she's doing the best she can, and there's nothing I can do or say that's going to alter where she is or at this point.
Okay, I wanted to pose it there because that's one of the things that I find so irritating, where he does this thing where he's like, there's nothing I can say or do, because I feel like that's the exact attitude that got them into the position they're in. Like that's it. That's what happened. Right. He was like, there's nothing I can say. There's nothing I can do. She's gonna drive how she drives. Like,
yeah, you're a parent. It's your job to do and say.
Yeah. And I like what Chris Cuomo did there. Instead of like just getting straight to it, he was like, okay, well, let me demonstrate that he doesn't know what she's even doing in there. I mean, yeah.
Let's talk about that. And just so you know, Steve, I don't know what you know about me. I have no agenda here. I'm not here to judge your daughter. That's already been done, right? I want to understand things that were left very open-ended and that are conflicting.
Okay.
However, I will give you the opportunity to deal with judgment. The reason I asked the question about what you know and what you don't is, as a father, and we have kids the same age, aren't you supposed to think that what you say will matter to your daughter and that you should know and you should have some kind of hand in her major decisions?
Yes, of course, but she ultimately makes that decision. I mean, I can just be there to advise and be there for her, and if she's got questions, and help her. I can lead the horse to water, but I can't make it drink. You know, so I was up until 17. I raised a strong, fierce, loyal kid.
You're not supposed to lead it to water. You're supposed to say, "Don't go to that water."
Who stuck up for her friends. I mean, I thought I was doing a great job. She's got a big heart, and I know as soon as I say that and this goes out there, the trolls in this world are going to crucify me like they've been, which is part of the reason why I wasn't sure about coming on this podcast. She's got a big heart, and as her father, there is no way that my daughter crashed that car on purpose to hurt Dominic or Davion. It is absolute story narrated by the prosecution. It's not true. It never has, and there's no evidence, zero evidence to support any of that.
Zero evidence. Yeah, I don't know. When it comes to him, I just I don't even know if I need to say it, but like, I mean, this has been through 2 appeals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's just colluding to validate this non-existent evidence. I mean, that's a lot of work, like to get together and be like, okay,
right, for an innocent person, we've got to make up all of these. Yeah. Imagine how many meetings they had to make her guilty. Yeah. We've all got too much time on our hands anyway.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting. You leave your daughter out of that equation. Do you think there's a chance she crashed into that school to hurt herself?
No, not at all. Not one bit. Not one bit. She loved life.
Your daughter was not suicidal.
Not at all. Not at all. We even had somebody after the crash did a like a suicide test on her or a questionnaire with her, and that person said that she was not suicidal. And if my daughter was suicidal, my wife would know. And
I'm sorry, did he just say that they did a test on her? Is there like a test for that?
Yeah, there's a psych evaluation that determines whether or not you're at risk.
Okay, so like he's saying she was evaluated, and
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
or if it's like she took a test.
Right. Is it
What do you
multiple
mean?
choice?
Yeah. Are you sad? No, like I mean, I'm not trying to diminish it, but I think he worded it wrong. That's why I was.
He did.
If my wife talked with my daughter about everything. My daughter told my wife everything. There's no way she wasn't suicidal before. She's not suicidal after. That is an absolute fabrication. It's a lie.
A big understanding from people is that when it comes to you and your wife, you were too permissive, too lenient, too nonchalant. In general, what do you make of that? And then we'll pick it apart. We got some big news.
No.
Days.
How do you say anything about me? How are you judging me without knowing me? Was I lenient on some things? Yes. Was I harder on some things? Yes. I was raising my kid how I felt best at the time that I made decisions. I'm not a bad parent. I picked fights that I felt would help her, and I picked fights that I didn't want to fight with her, and I let her go, and I made her make her own decisions. And she was almost an adult. She's almost 18 at that point. My daughter was a lot like me. I learned things by doing them, and rather than being told, don't touch the stove. I had to go touch the stove to figure out that it was hot, not that I was told that it was hot. It's that kind of an analogy, I guess.
Don't
that,
crash into a wall.
Exactly.
I mean,
please drive slower.
I was never told that, but I know not to.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we just let her experiment with stoves and cars, and that was her unique learning style.
It worked for her really well, actually.
yeah, he's like, she was almost an adult. She almost made it. Okay.
Almost.
All right, let me not.
If anyone that knows us knows that we weren't doing all that. We were.
That's the right thing to say. Yeah.
It's laughable that the people think what they think about us, and if you're not, and I look at it this way: if you're not in my boat, then it really doesn't matter what you think as the people. I mean, anyone that doesn't know me should keep their mouth shut. Personally,
you seem very.
That's interesting. That's like, I mean, that's a really dismissive way to look at it, but it also kind of makes me think back to that whole jury versus bench trial, and I can almost picture him like actually being involved in that decision and being like, yeah, I don't want a whole lot of people who don't know me, like, they're not in my boat. Like, that's a terrible way to put it. Like, the entire legal system did and should judge what happened. Not that they're judging his parenting, but I don't know. I hate people who default to that argument of, well, you don't know me. You don't know. So,
yeah, a lot of times your actions speak louder than your words, and we don't really need to get to know you.
Yeah.
I hate to say that,
exactly.
but in this case, it's true with Mackenzie and all of her posts, and you hear all the stories about her being a bully and just how horrible she was. I mean, that stuff's kind of hard to ignore, and sometimes bad personalities speak loud.
Yeah, and I mean, it's interesting, like when they're talking about the issue of his parenting, it's when he gets like so stuttery, and I think that he starts defending himself as a parent before it's even been brought up. Like, I honestly think when he said, I was raising my daughter the best way I thought at the time, I do think that he meant that, like, at the time, but I do think he has regrets looking back on it. I really do, even if he says he doesn't.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
Bothered by it though, Steve.
I'm a fighter by nature, and
exactly.
if I no one would be happy about this. It does bother me that this is overshadowing what really is going on with my daughter, and what went on during the trial and the bind-over trial and the lack of evidence. That's my problem with this. What's happening with me is just smoke and mirrors. What the stuff against my wife is smoke and mirrors. It's nonsense that has nothing to do with how the Cuyahoga County Prosecution's Office failed to prove that my daughter did this with purpose prior prior calculation or intent. That's it, you know. And then
There were 2 appeals.
Well, not to jump around too much, but I will argue to you that part of the reason that the prosecution was able to make that case is because of choices by your daughter's team with what they didn't make the case. They left the THC in her system out of the equation.
Absolutely.
And certainly the prosecution didn't want to argue diminished capacity because they want the hard crime. They want the intent, and they had the data. You know, your counsel ostensibly picked a bench trial.
Yeah, well, no,
we'll talk about.
That's not true. What happened was, me and my wife were not allowed to be in there with her when she made that choice. I told my daughter to do a jury trial. When he asked her, she said
you don't
jury
tell her
trial.
what to do.
He strong-armed her and told her, "You're going against my best judgment." Blah blah
Why?
blah. And changed
Why?
her. He felt the judge wouldn't be biased. He thought the judge, who had been sitting on that bench for as many years as she had, would be fair, and that's not what went on.
Why was he afraid of the jury?
He wasn't afraid of the jury. He thought the judge would be a better gauge in this for whatever reason.
Were you aware, because, you know, after she makes the decision, you can also change the decision before the proceeding begins, that very, very, very few people in your daughter's situation choose a bench trial. And even though statistically judges convict less often, it's because the cases that they do are usually hyper technical. And my understanding of the pleadings, and the lawyer has been very quiet about their deliberation process, was they thought they could win on the data. So the judge would be a better arbiter of that. And that to me was a gross error.
My understanding, because I wasn't in the court the whole time, the lawyer kept me out of the courtroom. He was going to use me as a witness. I would hope that he looked at the evidence and saw that there was none that pointed to her being a murder or being felonious assault. He didn't see any evidence, and I'm hoping that's what he saw. But hindsight's 20/20 now. He didn't do anything for her. In fact, at the end of this trial, he told me to throw him under the bus.
The new counsel in their pleadings, at least, are arguing ineffective counsel.
Yeah,
which is common. But I think that there is a basis here that could be argued.
Yes. He didn't put any of her medical records in. He didn't put any of the text messages that would have refuted some of the prosecution's evidence. He didn't do anything other than sit there and play with his pen. And mind you, I've never been in a murder trial. This is all new to me, so I'm not really sure how to gauge it. I didn't have a whole lot of advice from anybody. But he did nothing, absolutely nothing. The only time he did something was in the bindover trial when he was questioning the detective. And he had the detective reeling because the detective had to take a break because he was all exacerbated over it. He asked the detective at one point, "What do you think happened?" The detective's comment was, "I don't know." And I don't know why our lawyer or her lawyer didn't turn to that judge and say, "Motion to dismiss," because how does the guy who's finding all this evidence, all this hard evidence, not know what happened? Okay.
Did it surprise you that the bindover trial, as you're referring to it, for the people listening and watching, is the legal proceeding where you decide which court it's going to be in, juvenile or adult?
Yes,
and the decision here was made to try her as an adult. That surprised you?
Yes. Yeah. She was 17 when this happened. It was an accident.
Okay, I'm sorry. A few minutes ago, wasn't he like she was almost an adult? Like that's the same.
Yeah, she can't be a child and an adult. He's gonna have to pick one.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's either an adult who did this, or she's a child that needs punishment. I mean,
yeah. So when we're on the topic of whether he raised her, okay, he's like, well, she almost got to adulthood, but then in the courtroom, no, she's 17. She doesn't know about stoves and stuff.
And
there's 4.7.
Sorry.
I honestly sometimes wonder if the lawyer didn't really know what he was up against with Mackenzie and what happened, and that's why he just chose to do it the way he did it, because he knew there was just nothing that was going to save this girl.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I think that it is an unusual decision to not put her in front of a jury, and I think that it has more to do with her than they're willing to accept. It's just that putting her in front of a jury, they might not be able to focus solely on the evidence. They might be distracted by her.
Yeah,
is what I think. And I think the lawyer must have thought it out that way.
4.74 seconds of black box information and nothing else. That's all it is. It's car information. It's non-linear car information, which doesn't say what was happening in the car, doesn't say what her state of mind was. It doesn't say what talk was going on in the car. It's nothing. They've got 4 seconds of a minute and a half drive, and that's what they based this whole on. And then miscellaneous speculation on their part. Storytelling. They set a story, and just because they said it is evidence. That's what it amounts to. You know, they like the judge's summation. She went on and on. Oh, you're hell on wheels. You picked that road. You woke those boys up. My daughter didn't do any of that.
How do you know?
It's just not true. The judge made up a story for her summation, and based on what the prosecution's narrative is, and none of it's any evidence. It's just not there. There's no hard evidence that says prior content or prior calculation, intent, or purpose. It's just not there. It's not there. And my understanding is you're a lawyer, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I've talked to several lawyers, and every single lawyer has said that the prosecution's case was weak. And unfortunately, in Cuyahoga County, binding over, I guess, is you need this much of maybe evidence to get it bound over. My daughter's case should have never left that juvenile court. She should have been charged with two counts of vehicular homicide, and that's it. And that's it. Simple as that.
Well, it's actually statistically, if you look it up, a couple of things. It's easy for anybody to say anything when it's not their case. Hindsight's 20/20.
Yep.
A bind over trial, most juveniles get tried as juveniles. It is the exception that they get bound over into adult court because there's a presumption that kids can be rehabilitated in a way that adults cannot. They did not find that with your daughter. What does that mean to you?
Thank you.
They should have. Why they should have? There was no evidence to support the charges. There's none. There was none. The prosecution came up with that she's a dangerous society and blah blah blah, and there was no proof of that. They said that she had no remorse.
The proof is what happened. I don't know. I'm not like.
He can't accept. He cannot accept who his daughter is.
Yeah.
It's sad to see, but that's the truth.
Yeah. I like, is he intentionally not seeing it, or does he just not get it? Like, how can he believe that there is no case? I mean, calling her a danger to society is based on what she did, right? She was a danger to members of society who didn't deserve that.
Never spoke to her. I mean,
So one quick thing, and then we'll keep going about what the evidence was and why. Look, if they had brought in that she was intoxicated with the THC, if they had gone to a jury trial, if she had testified, this may have been a very different situation. However, those decisions weren't made. But just so people know, is that your wife that I'm hearing who's with you there?
Yeah. Yes.
Now, look, that's totally fine. Tell her I said hello. She is welcome to join. She's welcome to join. I didn't want to box her out, just so you know. I'm welcome. If she wants to talk, she's welcome.
She's sorry. I don't mean to smile or make light of this. She's my producer. She's,
No, I get it.
She doesn't want me to say something that. Okay.
She is free to say whatever she wants,
bad at her
however
job
she
then.
wants, and if she wants to join, that's fine by me. I'm just putting it out there, Steve, just to explain who we're hearing. Look, we all know.
No.
I don't know if you noticed her in the background.
Okay, you did it your way.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't.
Yeah, she's been speaking to him and telling him what to say in the background. You could see him look up and follow her pacing as she tells him what to say.
I regret that I've been watching like chat more than anything, but
I didn't catch it at first either. The first time we watched it, CJ said something, and then that was all I could hear after that.
I'm gonna hear it too now. But I mean, like, that's hilarious where he's like, she doesn't want me to say something I should, like, what have you been doing for months? Where was your producer? On leave. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I get like I feel for him. Like, he just, like, it's like he can't get things right. And this was a bad idea.
It
Like,
was
you
a
can already tell
really
that
bad idea.
for him. Shame.
17-year-old living outside the house with a 20-year-old, unusual. 17-year-old gets in trouble at school, known as a bully. You don't seem to care. Those are the suggestions about her. They sicken you. Why?
Because it's not true. She wasn't a bully. She wasn't a bully. She stuck up for herself. She stuck up for her friends. Period. That's it. She wasn't a bully. That is just lies, and it's a lie. I can't even. It's frustrating to hear it because I can't prove it, and you can't ask her because she's sitting in jail.
Well, look, she's welcome to come on whenever she
You
wants.
can ask her.
But it's just not true. It's half of a story or part of a story, or it's not completely true.
Were you aware of what was?
Oh my god, it went from it's not true to it's not completely true. If you let him carry on, he would have been like, I mean, it's not true all the time.
Just sometimes.
It's like it's not true. Well, it's not completely true. Not completely.
Said in the documentary from the school experiences of how she was described by some people, and where do you think that came from?
I can't explain it. Look, was she an angel? No. Did she have a problem with authority sometimes?
She's like just coaching him. I thought I heard her walking a moment ago, but she's like coaching him.
Yeah, he's a nervous wreck.
And I wonder, like, maybe her being there is making him more nervous. I don't even know if it's entirely completely coming from the interview and from Cuomo. He's probably also like feeling her attention.
Yeah, I feel like he's done enough videos in his third interview that he's done. He's spoken out 3 times now.
Yeah.
3 or 4 times. So I don't think he would be this just nervous and scared and jittery. Like,
yeah.
I remember the first time getting through this, I just kind of felt like I just needed to like shake off all this nervous energy.
Yeah. Yeah, it does get easier, especially since a lot of the questions that you ask are going to be the same question that somebody else asked you, and you can kind of like, perfect the point. But I think that a lot of his anxiety is coming from the fact that she's given him these points, and he doesn't want to he's probably like scared of her getting upset with him, which is not a good dynamic.
No, I just want to ask it to blink twice if you need help.
Yeah.
Through this whole interview.
Oh, CJ says, Mom was yapping from the minute he got. Yeah. I've turned my volume up now and I can hear her. And I did hear her walking around as well, which is like stressful. Like, I don't know. Yeah. See you soon, cute kitty. She pushed him out on a plank and is letting him. Yeah. I know. I know. And I guess in a way you can see that he is a bit of a henpecked spouse. I mean, I don't want to comment too much on that. I don't know him, as he would say, but
right. But it appears that way.
It appears.
To everyone looking on, for all of us, that's what it looks like.
Yes, that he has a strange dynamic with his producer.
Times I believe when she felt she was being unjustly treated, she stuck up for herself. That's the simple fact. And the documentary, anyways, they weren't necessarily honest with us and what they were going to use and how they were going to portray us in that documentary. Some of my comments, which all my comments were true, anything I said, I meant. But they were part of a longer dialogue. They were part more of a, it wasn't just, I just didn't spew that statement.
I understand.
There was a reason that statement came out.
Okay, I understand why this is uncut now. Because I feel like Chris Cuomo's like, well, I wouldn't do that. I'll just, let you embarrass yourself. You don't need my help.
Well, this is unedited. It will air in full, just as it is, which is why I wanted to explain your wife's voice, just so people know. The documentary, something that I keep hearing, and I'll be honest, it didn't register with me when I saw the documentary, as you
Okay.
can see by what I'm wearing.
And the problem with this, CJ, is that yeah, he's a pushover and she is the maestro, is that that's what Mackenzie grew up watching from the moment she could understand what was around her. And that didn't go so well in a lot of ways because I mean, I personally believe she is guilty of this. I believe that that was an extremely toxic relationship. So it's a little weird to see this because this was her environment when she was most impressionable.
Yep, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I don't think that much about clothing. But you wore a T-shirt that said
did.
"Boom"
I did.
in
I did.
a documentary about a car crash.
No. Well, I wore a shirt that represented a YouTuber called Drip Drop from Crime Circus. And this guy or this person on this YouTuber has been supporting my daughter right from almost from day one. He puts posts up all the time saying that she's been mistreated and there was a lack of there was an injustice involved, and he puts all kind of stuff out there. He's been an advocate for the past 3.5 years. So it was my way of saying thanks. It had nothing to do with the accident. It had nothing to do with the boy's death. And if it's me being colorblind or insensitive, that's not what I was doing. I wanted to shout out to this guy or this kid or this person saying thank you. Because this guy is about 6 months after the trial, he posted 4 or 5 videos. They were interviews with the detective from Strongsville and the Flanagans and some of the friends of Dominic's and Dominic's mom and Dominic's brother. And they were not in discovery. They were not in any of the discovery. They were not there. Okay. And all of a sudden we see these interviews, and in the interviews, all of them said that she has a problem passing out, or there's a problem. She has some kind of passing out problem, and the detective ignored it. And at some point, Dom's mother says to the detective, "No one's going to see this, right?" And the detective says, "No, I'm not putting these in evidence."
Have you seen these? Has anyone seen these?
Seen?
These videos he's talking about?
I haven't.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I know he'd mentioned that channel before, but I think I missed the point.
Yeah, no, I have never checked that channel out.
And I kind of actually believe him that he didn't make that connection with the crash and the boom. I think he probably, I mean, from what I can gather about him, I think he just missed that irony there.
And that is on Crime Circus. There's 4 or 5, maybe 6 videos that were either leaked or leaked to him, or the detective put them in after the fact, thinking nobody was going to look at them because the trial was over. So,
well, but there was also nothing offered by counsel in the defense case in chief about your daughter having POTS in a dispositive way from a prior diagnosis.
Yes,
which made it look like an article of convenience.
I know that. I don't know why Jim McDonald did that. I have no idea. I don't know what his plan was. This lawyer.
Well, is the answer, Steve, that he did it because there is no prior proof of her having POTS?
Yeah, like maybe that he just had nothing to present. Like he was like, well, I can't just walk in there and say that her mom and dad say she has POTS. Like that's the most likely thing, right? Like there was just nothing to support it.
Yeah, I think
he would have done that.
He would have definitely used it, but I don't believe that the POTS is a true diagnosis. I think it was just given as a way to explain an unexplainable. Like we don't really know why she has this issue, but it could be explained this way. And I don't think a judge would have taken that seriously.
Yeah, because I imagine even after the fact, there's no doctor who would want to take that on. I mean, you can hear that it's an excuse because why wasn't the POTS considered before she was allowed to even drive?
Right. I think that would have been a big issue in court was why was she driving if she has this? And he didn't want to use that in court.
Yeah, because that would have been a disaster, actually.
There is prior proof. I witnessed it. My wife witnessed this. She's got The medical documents we gave him had it in there. The people in those 5 interviews said something.
Did you give him any documents from a medical or clinician
Yes.
that
Yes.
said
Yes.
she is diagnosed with POTS?
Yes. 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 And the
From-
police, and the police
From after or from before?
before, during the bind over, Jim McDonald gave us the access to all the discovery, the discovery portals for Cuyahoga County, and my wife, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-laws, we all went through that stuff night and day, and so we had it in the interviews that were leaked on Crime Circus weren't in there. We gave him all kind of files. The detective only got her medical records from the day of the accident forward. He never went and got from back behind.
So he's completely avoiding the question of whether the assessment was before or after the accident.
He started to answer it in the beginning, and he got confused, I think, on what he was supposed to say, but I caught that too.
Shame. It's not easy. Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah, he definitely avoided the question there. He was like, he just defaulted to something else.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that Chris Cuomo would notice that.
Oh, sure.
So,
And you're saying that medical records from before the date of the incident.
absolutely.
And can you help us understand in what context did a doctor or any clinician ever diagnose your daughter with POTS, which for the audience is, again, a blood pressure related, heart related tachycardia, which can
it's also
cause
in-
dizziness?
It's in here to me. It's in the detective's notes too. He knew about it. Posterior orthostatic
Tachycardia.
which is a
What it means is that those are
He's
Dang
like, let
it,
me help you. Oh my god. Okay. Wow. He's just like, I'll just help you. Let me just don't worry. Don't listen to her. I'll yeah. Kip Kitty says, like I said, when CJ had this, I had to be seizure free for 1 year. Yeah, exactly. There's
Wow.
rules.
1
and-
year.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure that like is, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure that's subject to like ongoing assessment and stuff, and it would definitely come up because I can't imagine like how long would she have even had a license. She would have been tested. You guys can get a license at 16, right? In your country,
Right.
that's pretty early. But I mean,
I feel it's too young for a 16-year-old to have that much responsibility with the vehicle. In my personal opinion, I just think that's too young.
Yeah, it's 18 in my country. But I mean, she obviously hadn't had a license for that long, so like, she had to have been assessed fairly recently, and it just didn't come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but that was really funny the way he was just like helping him out there. Oh my god.
fancy Greek words for that when you're in a standing position and go from
You also
sitting or
have
vice
understanding
versa.
It's not just a standing thing. It's
Right.
Not just, it's
when
it's
there's a
any kind of
movement,
thing.
when there's a movement in posture, orthostatic means
blood
a
pressure.
change from being
Blood
straight.
pressure. Mhm.
Your blood pressure can go up or down and give you dizziness. So
Yes.
there are two questions. You're saying one, the answer to the first one is yes, people knew she had it before this,
Mhm.
which raises the question, then why was she allowed to drive?
It's you can drive with it. It's like epilepsy. There's not a she was doing things to kind of control it when things happen. Water, salt pills. So but that's what was going on. We were never told. No doctor says she can't drive. It wasn't an issue, even though the prosecution turned it into something.
Okay, we're gonna have to find that law where they say that it's fine. Just drink water.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a note.
I've never heard that. I'm going to use that though next time. Like, I have water. I'll be fine.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he's just digging himself deeper, but that's to be expected from him, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. I think they're going to continue to get worse and worse, these interviews, if he doesn't stop himself.
Well, the prosecution didn't deal with it because that's not part of their case, that this happened because of POTS, because they didn't want it to be an accident. Their case is it was intentional.
But it wasn't. And it's,
Now, when you say that with such conviction, is that because your daughter has ever explained to you or your wife that something happened in the car?
no, she does not remember. That has been her story from day one. There's no memory of it. And I'm telling you, I know my daughter does not like pain. She would never, ever hurt herself intentionally. It's just not. I know my daughter. I've known that kid all her life. I know when my daughter lies. I just know my daughter. Do you know your children? I mean, can you tell when your children are telling lies or aren't being honest with you? Look,
I'd like to think so.
okay, well, that's how I am. I believe my daughter is painfully honest, and my wife just said she's painfully honest.
Has she ever passed out before and had no recollection of anything that happened?
Passed out and didn't remember? No. Passed out and been in an accident? At least one time. Okay, I can't speak
What
for
is he
her
saying?
memory loss.
At least
I
one
wasn't
So
in the
she
car.
was driving.
Is he
I
referring
never
to
caught that.
What is he saying? Is he referring to the actual accident, or are you
I
saying that this
hope
happened
not.
before?
I hope he's not referring to that.
Let's go back a little. That was weird.
I
So
wasn't in the
she
car.
was driving once and had an episode and had a car accident?
No.
He's
just
saying
not-
no.
I know my daughter. I've known that kid all her life. I know when my daughter lies. I just know my daughter. Do you know your children? I mean, can you tell when your children are telling lies or aren't being honest with you? Look,
I'd like to think so.
okay, well, that's how I am. I believe my daughter is painfully honest, and my wife just said she's painfully honest.
Has she ever passed out before and had no recollection of anything that happened?
Passed out and didn't remember? No. Passed out and been in an accident? At least one time. Okay, I can't speak for her memory loss. I
So
wasn't in the
she
car.
was driving once and had an episode and had a car accident?
No.
Oh.
She'd only been driving for a year. at this
Okay,
point.
I'm sorry. I misunderstood you.
Yeah, she
I also misunderstood him. Is he saying that there was a prior accident? Or
No.
is he saying
No,
Because-
he's just saying that the crash that we're talking about was the one time.
But
That
in
is
that
not-
scenario, he's saying she didn't have memory loss. He's saying that passed out and lost her memory, no, but passed out and had an accident, yes, at least once. So, but then this time we're expecting, or is he saying that the memory loss is from the accident, not?
I think Chris is asking him if Mackenzie has ever passed out and not remembered what happened previously before this. Like, has there been signs that she's had this
Yeah.
happening? And he's saying she's passed out before, but she's never lost her memory before. And then the crash happened. So now he's at that point where he's saying this is the first time that she's actually passed out while driving and lost her memory. That's how I'm understanding.
Okay. Well, okay.
Did I make sense?
It did, but he's not making it.
He's not. No, you really have to read between the lines on some of these things.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, okay. I understand, but well, even Chris Cuomo didn't understand. So.
She's passed out. She's had a couple episodes here at the house. She's had them with her friends. And all her friends have said it happens at school. I mean, at Dom's house. I mean, it happens. And I do not know why Jim McDonald, her lawyer, didn't use it. I don't understand. I'm dumbfounded why that lawyer chose not to do anything other than click his pen and sit at that desk.
And when you talked to him and said, "Where's the pot stuff?" What did he say?
He said this is his words. He didn't even turn in. He told us after one of the dates that the judge is not buying it. That was his word. The judge is not buying it. That was his. That she has a diagnosis. That was his description to me. And if I would, in my hindsight right now, if I'd have known, I would have fired him immediately.
Okay, so I think what he probably said was that the judge is not going to buy it. So
Right. I don't think he's telling the truth there.
yeah. Yeah, because I mean, it's not for the judge to review what's going to be in evidence and be like, oh, well, I'm not, nah, don't put that in.
And if
He was
you're
probably,
defending someone for something like this, you're going to throw everything you can at the judge to try and get them either a smaller sentence or a non-conviction period.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
really weird.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't know he didn't turn stuff into after the fact, you know. So I mean, there's some things we didn't know. I mean, are we bad parents? No. Are we uninformed parents of a child that was on trial for murder? Yeah.
What does that mean?
She had 1 day. She had 1 day for defense. He did 1 day, and he didn't do much during her trial. I mean, it just wasn't there. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking. He, in my opinion, this man should never be allowed in a courtroom again. I mean, it's just unfortunate that he did nothing for her. I mean, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. 2020 after this fact, what did he do?
Well, it's my opinion that his daughter should never be allowed in a car again. But I mean, we're all just giving our opinion. What's your opinion?
My opinion?
Yeah.
My opinion is I think she needs to stay where she's at. She needs to
okay.
sit and think about what she's done for quite a while until I can see some.
Yes. We're all giving our
kind
opinion.
of accountability.
Oh my God.
You know, so I mean, he did nothing for her.
If there is a legitimate basis for prior knowledge and existence of a diagnosis of POTS, that should have been in the evidence, and that's something that you guys should make sure is in the appeal, because obviously the judge had every reasonable basis not to buy it because she didn't have it in front of her in a way that seemed to be demonstrated before the fact.
That is in her post-conviction appeals now. It's in the post.
Right. No, I know that because I've read the pleadings. But the other thing that the lawyer left on the table, so to speak, is the intoxication. No alcohol. Okay. THC. Yes. Limit. Tough to know. They messed with the sample. They didn't preserve it. But we all know it was in her system. It wasn't argued as diminished capacity.
That is absolutely true.
The idea of why she was taking so much drugs, this is what you get hammered for in the documentary, where you were like, yeah, I know she smoked a lot of weed. I was okay with it. Do you still feel that way?
I knew she was smoking weed. I didn't know she was making videos and in the car. That's the stuff I found out after the fact.
That's interesting because I mean, I've seen a lot of interviews where they've said that her mom was on her social media, like it was in the documentary itself. So did she just fail to mention that? Unless, no, I don't know.
I see two parents who do not think that their daughter can do any wrong, no matter what she does. They just don't see it. It's cute, it's cool, it's funny. This is my daughter. Don't you like her? And that's not what the world is seeing. We all know the different story.
Yeah. And that's the first time I've heard him say that he didn't know about it in the car. And it comes back to this thing of like where with the hot stove, like if he was this kind of parent, which I disagree with, where he was like, no, I don't care if you're doing this. He should have at least sat down with her and be like, well, don't drive or don't like, I don't see how he can say that he's not aware of these things.
No, there were text messages that were released, just tons of them. And I did come across some between Mackenzie and her dad, and he was very much aware of the smoking and just how much, because him and her were talking back and forth about it, about using it, mixing it, come and get me if it's too much for you to handle and I'll help.
Oh, so he wants to help.
It's disturbing. Yeah, he's plainly lying to everybody, trying to save face, but he knew much more.
Yeah, and it kind of makes me wonder, like, sometimes there's like a blur between whether he's trying to defend Mackenzie or himself. I find that weird. Like, yeah.
Do you blame yourself for your daughter's behavior?
do I blame myself? Could I have advised her better? Sure. Do I think it would have made any difference? I don't know. I don't have I'm sorry. I don't have a problem with the marijuana use. I'm sorry. I just don't. It's a battle that I would never win. How am I stopping her? Was I going to lock her in her room and never let her out of the room? Was I supposed to go with her everywhere she goes? Could I took the car away? Could I just?
Yes.
Yes, you could take the car away. You could take the phone away. Yes.
Put her in her
We
room.
know. How many times have you had your phone or your video games or something you love taken away because you just didn't do the right thing? And you learn from it. Like, this sucks. I don't want that to get taken away again. So she was never shown that.
Yeah, and he's like saying, well, should I have done this? Should I have done this? And we're just like, yes. I mean, if you'd done at least one of them early on, you wouldn't have need to do the others, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is a really good point, Kid Kitty. Like, they just want to be, it's like a combination of they want to be her friend, they want her to like them, but then they also kind of are slightly afraid of her, I think. And I guess it was just a recipe for disaster from the beginning. But I mean, yeah, of course he should have taken the car away.
Oh, yeah. That should have been the first thing taken away.
Yeah.
There's just so many factors that had nothing to do with it.
I'm judging Steve. I'm not judging you or your wife, but I don't know how much of the audience are parents, but you and I both know, as does your wife, the answer to every suggestion you just made is yes. That's what we do. I told you not to drink with your friends. You drank. Now you're not going out. Oh, you did it again. Now you can't drive. Oh, you did it again. Now you're not going anywhere for a week.
We have grounded her. And
that's why parenting can suck. That's why we're not their friends.
I agree. Totally agree. I've taken her door off her room. I've taken her phone, all her electronics. I mean, this kid is not unpunished. Okay. Did we dote on our daughter? Yeah. Did I give her what I could? Yes. I gave her things I didn't get when I was a kid. That's just me being a parent. I love my kid.
What? And go ahead.
I love that kid. There was not a problem with her until this accident and how it got blown out of proportion and how everything now is so blown out of proportion.
You can't describe people's passing as being blown out of proportion. You just can't. No. You just can't do that. And
there's no connection, it seems like, with all three of them regarding the impact of what they did. Like, there's two people that are permanently gone because of this.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't, it's not connecting in their brain that's a permanent thing.
Yeah, they see the effect on themselves. And they don't even realize that this is something that they're responsible for. Like, it's everybody else, like the judge, the lawyer, everyone.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's blaming just everyone, people he doesn't even know. This, I don't know. I think that it is important to be able to reflect and be like, well, I mean, the extent to which he's reflecting is maybe I could have given her better advice, but I don't even know if that would have changed anything. Which, I mean, he's obviously not.
He's accepted. Yeah, he's just accepted everything. This is just how it is. I don't know why you guys are mad.
Yeah, and he seems to think that he has no impact on her behavior, which, I mean, I'm wondering why. Is that just from being worn down by her when he has tried? Or does he really just think that's the way you're supposed to do it?
Sometimes I wonder between the two, which, it's confusing with him. I think a lot of it has to do with the wife. I think his wife controls a lot of decisions.
Yeah.
It's, mind you, nothing that I'm doing or saying, nothing my wife has said, has anything to do with the prosecution not having any evidence to support their charges. That's it. Okay, it's just smoke and mirrors.
I don't understand where this is coming from. Like she was found guilty, she was sentenced, there was an appeal, there was another appeal. Where does he think that's all coming from if not evidence? Like what I really admire Chris Cuomo in this because I would have been so frustrated by now because he just keeps saying that. But
Yeah,
what is
maybe he
basing it on?
thinks if he says it enough, we'll believe it.
I don't know. Like there's evidence that there's evidence. The evidence is that she was found guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After the trial, anything that, oh, we're terrible parents, oh, we entitled her, it has nothing to do. Me not hearing that she was smoking marijuana with her boyfriend and her friends has nothing to do with that accident. It has nothing to do with it.
Do you think the documentary filmmakers had an agenda? Do you think that they were out?
I believe they did. I believe they misrepresented themselves when they spoke to us. I believe they came in with a set idea of who my daughter was and who we are. And I also feel, though, once they started talking to us, I think we gave them other stuff to look at. But in the end, their editor and the way they produced it went against what they said to us. And the families, my understanding is the families had editing control during this documentary because they were able to view it prior to it hitting the air. And my understanding, and we weren't allowed. Yeah, we weren't allowed. So
I don't know about editing control. That sounds a little bit ridiculous, but I think that it's a good thing if they did consult the actual victims in the case and talk to them about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
That's like a very sensitive way to do it. He has misunderstood himself as the victim again.
like I said, I believe they had an agenda and they did it. And that was a mistake on that was a mistake on our part because we believed that they wanted to be an unbiased, fair platform for us to give our story out. And if they would have used the 3 days they interviewed us stuff, I think there would have been a different light on that documentary. It would have looked different. There would have cast some more light on what the prosecution has and does not have. And the narrative that they put out is just that story.
You have what they have and you have the narrative. We'll put that in two pieces. The first
Let me
point.
ask you this question before you go. What do you think they have as evidence?
Okay. Here's the problem for the defense with this case. There is an unusual amount of objective data about what happened after that right turn was made and until the car struck the sign.
Actually, no, that's not true.
Steve, let me explain why I say it.
Let me explain, because I've looked at all this evidence. They got her turning on the road, the right turn, yes. Blinker, blah, 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 right?
Yes.
We agree?
Nice and slow.
Nice and slow, like a normal, okay.
Like normal, like not what she, turned into, just normal. He shouldn't have said that.
Road is a cut through. Mm-hmm. In Strong's order, it's a known cut through. The detectives, even in their notes, state as much. Okay, it is a cut through. Now, there is no evidence from just after the turn to 4.74 seconds prior to that car hitting that wall. There's nothing. There is absolutely zero evidence. There's no black box information. There's no cabin recorder. There's nothing. And mind you, I'm not saying Potts is the reason for it. I'm not saying the car had an issue. I'm not saying the boys did anything. I don't know. I have no idea what happened in that car. And if I don't have any idea, nobody does. And
I understand. Now, the problem with that, in terms of the judge, is I don't remember anything from Mackenzie. If Mackenzie gets on the stand and remembers everything and tells any other kind of explanation for what happened in the car, this may have been different. Yeah, but her saying, I don't remember anything, is a suspicious answer to people in my business.
I think it's an honest.
It may be.
At any time, she could have said,
"Maybe
Dominic attacked me in the car. Deviant attacked me in the car."
That's true.
She could have done that. She could have thrown both those kids under the bus. Okay, and I'm not saying that happened. What I'm saying is there are many possibilities that could have happened from that turn to 4.74 seconds when that black box turned on.
Yes.
And that black box information is non-linear. It's not a. It doesn't record. It records bop, 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 bop. Okay. And we had a car expert look at it, and he says, well, maybe she could break at this point. She may have broken between the 2 points. And our lawyer, her lawyer, had that information too and chose not to use it. Again, I do not know why the lawyer chose not to use what resources and what information we did have.
Understand. I understand what you're saying. This is why I answered that they have data. Okay. You're right about the EDR. Why? That's the way an EDR works,
Mhm.
is that after there's an impact,
Yeah.
it keeps only that small window of data.
What happened? My understanding of what happened is the
Mhm.
car was coming down the road at a good clip. I can't explain the speed. Nobody's going to be able to explain the speed because nobody alive other than my daughter was in that car is alive now. Okay. And again, the boy, let me say this because I'm going to get nailed for this.
Don't worry about the reaction. Worry about the authenticity of the statement. That's all that you control.
I feel for those two boys. I'm heartbroken for both two boys. And if I can give my life, like I said right from the start, I gladly give my life for those two boys to be here today. Okay. I've never been more torn during an event. How do I feel grief and remorse and pain for the families and for the two boys? How do I do that? And then feel happy for my daughter because she's alive. My daughter's lucky to be alive. And I know people are going to go, good. Okay. Look, my daughter's lucky to be alive. She's lucky to be walking. She's lucky not to be a vegetable.
I agree.
That's
Okay.
so
She's
true.
lucky. She's the luckiest.
I agree.
kid. And she struggles with that. And
She's also lucky for such a low sentence after being found guilty of all of this. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
but I'm torn. It's horrible. It's a gut wrenching feeling I have every time it comes up, and that's all I've been thinking about for 4 years. And now I have to think about my daughter being unjustly charged, and then every time I open my mouth and say it and point to where it is, I get people questioning, "Oh, that's a lie. Oh, you're making that up. Why didn't your lawyer use it?" Look, if you want to know why the lawyer didn't do it, you need to talk to the lawyer. The lawyer, in hindsight, is a terrible lawyer, and he shouldn't have it. He should not be able to practice law ever again, in my opinion, after what he did to my daughter.
I understand, and you're entitled to it. Just to close the loop on this, okay? I have a lot of experience, obviously, almost 30 years, and watching the evolution of event data recorders. That's why I say EDR. EDR is event data recorder.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Here's what she had that made it compelling about intent. And you don't have to agree with this. I don't have
I'm
to.
not going to, because I kind of feeling what you're going to say, but I disagree with it because it.
So go ahead,
sorry,
Steve.
I'm sorry.
No.
I don't mean to interrupt you.
I'm here
just-
for your answer.
I feel like it would why doesn't he just interview himself? Chris doesn't need to be there. Yo. He's interrupting and I think he's just trying to get ahead of what he's saying instead of just calmly accepting it. It's irritating.
Answers and opinions, not my own. Go ahead. Why don't you like the assumption that all the data they had indicated a
What the car was
constant
doing.
acceleration?
I can't explain the constant. There's a picture with her slipper on the gas pedal stuck underneath the brake. Could have been the car has a history. Toyota's cars like that have a history of that gas pedal accelerating. Okay, mind you, I'm not saying that's what happened. I don't know. What I'm saying, it's a possibility. And if it's a possibility,
Wait, sorry. I'm sorry to stop so much. He confuses me. He's saying that Toyota have a history of what? And what does that
Apparently that car
Yeah.
has a malfunction in it, and they've had issues with the car just spontaneously accelerating to 100 miles an hour and hitting walls.
Oh. If you're wearing slippers though.
Right.
Okay.
how do you rule it out that it wasn't? You got that. My understanding is that the car was coming down the road at a good clip. The car was out of control at some point. The car thought it was flipping over, and the black box turned on. This is prior to the crash. This is prior to it hitting the sign or hitting the wall. The black box turned on. The car thought it was flipping over. There was a steering wheel right to left or something. I don't have the right. It went the right to the left to the right, something like that. And then both side airbags deployed prior to that car hitting that sign. And I don't know if anybody knows what a side airbag explodes like. It's not like I'm in a pillow fight at a sorority house. It's not like poof. These are explosions, and then there's powder everywhere. And mind you, I'm not saying that's the cause. She wouldn't be able to see where she was going anywhere. Now, this may be a folly of things that went on. It may have been medical. It may have been the boys. It may have been my understanding is the boys and her had taken shrooms that night, which I had no idea about after the fact. Yeah, the boys.
He's like, well, I had no idea. But I mean,
He makes sure we knew he wasn't involved in that one.
yeah, exactly. It's like when somebody walks into the room and they're just trying to greet you, and you're like, it wasn't me. Like, oh, okay. I was just gonna say hi, but I mean, I mean, he's saying it could have been any or a combination of these things. And he has no idea which or what proportion of combination, but he knows that it was not intentional. And I find that weird because, like, if he's so unsure about what these things are, like, it could have been the slipper and the substances and the boys and the car and everything all together, and then to add, to add to it, the judge was biased and the lawyer was bad and Netflix was involved. Um, like, how does he know that there wasn't some kind of intent in that salad of things? And his reasoning is that he knows his daughter. That's never been a basis for anything. Like, imagine if that had any evidentiary value. Like, okay, well, we're going to assess if this is accurate. Let's just check with the suspect's father, because parents will know. Like, that's not legally acceptable. And it's somehow legally acceptable for him to say there's no evidence, but his evidence is that he knows his daughter.
Right.
That's, yeah.
My understanding, the boys had shrooms in it, but it could have been anything. I don't know. I can't say, well, it's most certainly pots, or it's most certainly the car, or it's most certainly the boys, or, there's no evidence to put a finger on it. And if you can't say that this is what happened, then how are you charging her? How are you saying, now, sorry, one more thing. In the documentary, in between the reflection videos and Tim Troop walking down the hall all handsome and stuff, he's heard saying, we looked at everything and ruled it out. So it's this. So we ruled everything out. And I'd like to know what information and what evidence they actually use to rule everything else that could have happened.
It's in the documentary. Watch it. Like, it's in there. Like, they explained how they ruled out everything and how they settled on the most likely scenario.
So that's just him talking. That's him talking and saying, look, I'm lazy. We just want it to be murder. It's like, the analogy is here. The wife dies, the husband did it. That's it. That's the analogy that's going on here. There's no evidence of why it happened. There's no evidence of why. There will never be any evidence of why. And that's the point that needs to be taken here. That black box information is about the car. I can't explain acceleration. I can't explain why the pedal was down. Could it have been the slipper stuck on the pedal? Could it have been the car? Yeah, it's just as likely as she did it on purpose. And there's no evidence of purpose. And speeding is not a precursor to murder. It's not. Sorry. It's recklessness. It's reckless. That's why it should have been vehicular homicide, or if worse, reckless vehicular homicide in the juvenile court, which is what our lawyer said it should have been. The one time that's what he said. He was dumbfounded when they bound it over.
All right.
Is this the same lawyer who should never be allowed in a courtroom again? The one he's now quoting? Okay. Just checking.
Let's look at the other side, right? Because there are two sides, at least, in every trial, which is why they're so compelling. You have two invested storylines. The narrative of the why comes into the relationship between Dom and your daughter and perceived threats, etc. And there are other texts.
That's a lie. That's a lie. I'm going to cut you off. Sorry. I got to cut you off. That's a lie. That is a lie.
How am I lying?
Is not the right word. That is harsh. These kids fought and they broke up and they got back together. That was their MO. They weren't fighting. This wasn't a volatile relationship. They were never, ever, ever going to break up. They were talking about getting married. They were talking about a life. They were buying furniture for that house. They were making a life for themselves. Period. That's it. They weren't. No, look. This has been thrown on me. They were not breaking up. And anyone who says that, sorry, that is untrue. That is a lie. And that is a narrative that the prosecution needed to go to put my daughter in a bad light, to make it seem like she had a thing against this kid. Because if she was going to break up with this kid, she would have told my wife, and that never happened.
Oh no, it's not her who wanted to break up. Oh shame.
That's the good point. It wasn't not her doing it, but to tell us it's a lie. We've seen the text messages. We've heard all about it. I mean, you can manipulate me all you want, but I also have eyes to see for myself.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, so it's half true. She wasn't trying to break up with him, but she's not the only person in the equation. Yeah.
It wasn't her idea, and I don't think she could handle that.
Yeah, and he doesn't seem to want to entertain the idea that somebody could break up with her. Like, if they were breaking up, it was going to be her idea.
Yeah.
and she hadn't gone through that idea, so it wasn't happening. That's bad.
Yeah.
Okay, Steve, I'm telling you what the prosecution's case was.
Well, the prosecution's case is based on lies and
All
the
right,
narrative.
that's your opinion. What I'm saying is that's what the trial is
I think
for.
it's fact. I think it's fact because you can't get.
Well, if
no
it
evidence
were
of
a fact, you got to remember, I'm a lawyer, right?
Yeah,
If
I
it
get
were
you.
a fact that they lied, then she would not be in prison. So it is your opinion that they lied.
Unless there's a fix or a conspiracy
Okay.
with Nancy Margaret Russo, who shares the same last name as
But
the boy.
but they're not related.
Ah,
Steve, they're not related.
They're not blood related. There's a relationship. My understanding is that Christine Russo is in her court all the time. They have a working relationship. The Russo family's big. This is a fix.
Do you have any proof that they knew each other?
Hey,
in
I
any
have
way?
as much proof that it's a fix and that the judge is dirty or incompetent as they do that my daughter did this with purpose. All I have to do is say it, so it's true, right? That's what the prosecution did. Well, she's breaking. They did.
No, they have standards in two cases, right? The charging is probable cause, very low. Lowest standard we have. Probable cause basically means it's a 50-50. So charging is a low bar. That's why you can indict a ham sandwich.
Oh, wow.
This is not about possibility. It's about probabilities. That's what beyond a reasonable doubt means.
Well, there's a lot of reasonable doubt that was ignored.
So let's talk about why. What the judge saw, assuming the judge isn't dirty, and again, there was an appeal that was rejected, and then the Supreme Court didn't take up the case.
To me, Cuyahoga County's, like, I can't speak for an appellate court that brings up an illegal procedure in a trial, and all they do is slap the prosecutor's hand. The prosecutor illegally changed the coroner's report from accidental to homicide in between the bind over and the thing. And the appellate court brought attention to this and then just went, oh, don't do it again. There's so much wrong with how this was handled, how it was brought to trial. I'm sorry. Nobody, no lawyer, no person is ever going to make me believe that my daughter did this on purpose. Show me that evidence. And if you're going to say the black box says she did it with purpose, that is speculation.
Steve, I haven't said it because you haven't let me say anything, but that's okay. I understand why you're so upset about this, and you should be. I can't even imagine how I would be, and I got 3 kids.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, is it even true that they changed that illegally? I haven't heard that.
I've heard him say this before, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how true that can be.
I'm also wondering about that because also, like, I mean, there would probably have been some kind of a procedure for that, the fact that it was changed, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't accurately changed. Maybe the procedure of it wasn't done properly. I'm not sure, but
or it's just the case that he just doesn't like it, doesn't agree with it, therefore it's wrong and illegal, and how dare we?
Yes.
I feel like that's more like it. It's
probably, yeah.
He just doesn't like it.
By his track record, yeah. And I mean, it's true. Like I think he is getting a little bit agitated now because he isn't letting Chris Cuomo say much.
Yeah.
Cute.
And they're all driving. So here's what I'm just trying to explain for the benefit of the audience to flesh out the issues. The judge was presented with evidence that the car went from a very casual turn of a corner to 100 miles an hour. There were no skid marks before a known intersection.
Oh, there is actually skid marks. There are actually skid marks.
Not in the trial record. Not in the trial record. In the trial record, they presented evidence.
It's on the body cam footage of the police.
But I'm saying that they don't see any marks. This is what the judges said, right?
Again, my take on that is that the judge had a relationship with the Russo family, and that is why that judge made her decision on day one. She did nothing but open mail and
Steve, the problem with a trial or the
oh my God, he is so. What the lawyer was clicking his pen and she was opening mail. That's the summary of what went on. And it's interesting that he's saying that, like, he's pointing to her last name as part of this, but he's also, like, when it comes to the appeal, he's like pointing to the whole county. Like, but they don't all have the same last name. It's not like, Russo County.
Yeah, I think he's reaching on
Hmm.
that. I mean, I don't think that anyone would have, especially a sitting judge, is going to put themselves in a position with controversy and all of that if she thinks she really should have been excused
Yeah, and
for that
that's what the
trial.
appeal process is for. Like it's there for that. And it was used for that and it was, upheld twice.
Yeah.
It's not my cat.
It's
I
mine. I'm sorry.
no, it's okay.
They're
Remember
used to
we'll
getting a lot of attention, and right now they're not getting any, and they don't know what to do. So
I
they're
know.
they're
It's
complaining.
stressful. I told you we're all giving our opinions today. Their opinion, they're not getting enough attention.
Yeah.
We're all allowed our opinion, except Chris Cuomo. He must get it.
Yeah, apparently.
Yes.
Blessing of a trial, depending on how you look at it, is we only know what you can show. And what they showed was this car went from slow to very fast.
Why?
With no real turns through
Why?
a sign and into a building.
Why?
But that was all
Why?
stated there and not countered by your case.
Again, that is why the lawyer there. I don't know if you can see. If you can see, there's the skid marks right there.
Oh. Okay.
That's in the discovery, right?
Right.
That's from the body cam footage.
I'm sorry, I didn't see it the first time he showed it, and I'm not able to see the skid marks this time. Did you see them?
I'm gonna take it back a little because there shouldn't be skid marks on a road.
And I think we've all seen the video. We know she didn't brake, so we know there's no skid marks. So
let's play that again.
What is he talking about?
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna get a lesson in
Here's
skid marks.
what I'm just trying to explain for the benefit of the audience to flesh out the issues.
Body cam footage of the police.
But I'm saying that they don't see any marks. This is what the judge has said, right?
Again, my take on that is that the judge had a relationship with the Russo family, and that is why that judge made her decision on day one. She
did I miss the skid marks? No, I didn't. Okay.
Did nothing but open mail and
Steve, the problem with a trial or the blessing of a trial, depending on how you look at it, is we only know what you can show. And what they showed was this car went from slow to very fast.
Why?
With no real turn.
Yeah, we're going back. We're gonna see if we can see these skid marks. Which I mean, maybe, but I don't remember hearing that either.
Through a sign and into a building.
Why?
But that was all stated there and not countered by your case.
Again, that is why the lawyer there. I don't know if you can see. If you can see, there's the skid marks.
Is he gonna move the phone?
Right there.
Sorry, I was muted. But is he purposefully not showing us?
He's like holding it sideways. He's like,
yeah, he wants us to believe they're there, but he doesn't want us to actually see. That's how I feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, I can see.
I can't.
I wouldn't even know that's a road. And I also want to just point out Chris Cuomo's face right now is the same as ours.
Like, Chris.
He's just like, okay.
We need a screenshot of just that look on his face. Like, what are you talking about, Steve?
Okay, the timestamp here is like more or less 1.5 hours. Oh my god. I wouldn't even know if that was a road, let alone the right road.
Right, it could be any place. Skid marks from a week ago from another driver, like
from a person who tried to stop. Yes. If there are skid marks, it's actually from accidents near other location. Yeah, I don't know. Look, he's trying his best. That's like, I do want to say that for him. Like, he's trying. Well, no, actually he's not. I was going to try and say that, but he's not even holding the phone straight so he could show us the skid marks.
Skid marks right there. That's in the discovery, right?
Right.
That's from the body cam footage. Look, I can't explain the speed. Kids being kids, I can't explain. Was it the car, or was it the boys, or was it her? There's 4 possibilities.
But none of the data suggests anything happened with the car, and there's not even a suggestion of any real braking.
Well, you don't know that because there's no information from 4.74 seconds back to that turn.
Right, but that's a lot of time. By the way,
4 seconds. That's 100 feet. Or
yes,
less.
but I'm saying 4 seconds. No. 4 seconds is a long
all,
time.
Listen,
a fat guy can run a 40-yard dash in about 4.7 seconds. You know what I'm saying? That's a long time. 4.7 seconds.
I don't know.
Going at that rate of speed of acceleration.
Not in a half a mile. Not in a half a mile road. It's not. That's
all I'm saying, Steve.
Again,
I'm not here to make the case. I'm here to test the case, and I'm just telling you.
I'm arguing that your data and what you're using as data is not completely reliable.
I'm just using what was presented at trial.
I know what was presented at trial, and that's what I'm having fault with, and that's why I have fault with the lawyer. That's why we are making an appeal. That's why we'll never stop fighting this, because something is wrong. Hey, this is 4 years, and this is still going on. There's something fundamentally wrong with how my daughter was tried, and I don't care what's in the trial transcripts. I don't know what my lawyer was doing, or her lawyer, not my lawyer. I don't know what he was doing. I have no idea. It makes no sense to me. And to have a sitting judge who has been in the trial on that bench for as long as she has, not to be able to decipher fact from fiction. Okay, her summation, everything she said, has no evidence whatsoever. There's no support in the evidence whatsoever. It's just not there. In fact, there are people that even said that 2 things didn't happen. Okay, I don't get it. I don't get how a sitting judge who's supposed to know the law and understand the law come up with that kind of summation. This is personal. Her submission was personal. It wasn't legal. It wasn't black and white. It was personal.
How was it personal? How was it like? How?
No, he's feeling in someone else's words and feelings, and he doesn't know that, but he believes it, truly believes it.
I guess he's referring to the Howl on Wheels comment, which I thought was quite appropriate, like given the
circumstances.
findings. Yeah. And since we're interrupting Chris Cuomo, I also want to remind everybody to please subscribe to our special guest co-host Jennifer. And I also wanted to say hi to CJ because he is at a location this morning, but he is with us in chat, and we are we're about halfway through. And I mean, it's been entertaining so far. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. I hope everyone else is too. Thank you so much for being here, and please remember to like the video. Please. Okay, we've interrupted enough.
And the way she interrupted my wife, when my wife was pleading for my daughter's life, pleading for my daughter. That's what a mother should do. And to have my wife vilified for saying, look, give mercy to my kid is wrong. And look, this case is wrong from top to bottom. The way they arrested her.
So
that's not why.
Yeah.
You and I are thinking the same thing.
I know we are. And honestly, the way she conducted herself during what was supposed to be a victim impact statement, but it turned into a I don't know, just an impact statement. She just left out the victim part, just an impact statement. The way she undermined just everyone in the room, especially the victims' families, and the way she was like lecturing them on stuff that she knew, she had to have known full well wasn't even true. Like, he is misrepresenting it. She was not pleading for her daughter. She was trying to be manipulative. She was being dismissive and insulting in front of a court.
Yeah.
That's what I have to say.
I completely agree.
Yeah, this guy.
How they arrested her, from the detective in Strongsville omitting evidence in interviews, from the prosecution making up a narrative and finding ways to make her look bad. And when all the evidence they have, any evidence, is 4.74 seconds of nonlinear black box information. That's it. And she turned on the road. That's it. That is only evidence they have, and that is car information. Nobody was in the car. You weren't in the car. I wasn't in the car. I'm not saying this, and this. What I'm saying is something happened in that car prior to 4.74 seconds.
Remember,
and I don't know
the
what
reason you don't know is because your daughter says she doesn't recall.
Well,
that's why we don't know. That's why we have to piece it together. Is because the only person who can tell the story says there's nothing to say.
So I should go tell my daughter, hey,
See you soon.
just remember something and say Dominic Russo and Davian Flanagan.
I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not telling you to do that.
I'm hypothetically speaking here. So nobody believes my daughter. She had a femur broken. She had a fibula broken. She had broken ribs. She had lacerated spleen, liver. Both carotid arteries are damaged. She had bruises all over her face. I don't know how this kid survived. She got hit in the head. You can forget. I don't get the reasoning. Oh, it's convenient that you forgot. Well, that's the truth. I would think if my daughter meant to kill this kid prior to that accident, she would want to kill him now, and she hasn't shown any of that.
Wow.
That kid, I thought they knew Dom really well. His minor daughter was living with him, and he's referring to him as that kid.
Yeah. And he's I don't even know how to describe this circular reasoning that he's now come up with, which is that if she wanted to kill him before, she would have been showing signs of it now, because she would still be wanting to kill him.
Right. She's already been found guilty, and so let's put an idea in everyone's head that she could be guilty, because I know how she would have done this. That's right. That's my thought when he says that.
And also, like, if she had the intent to kill him, she's not going to want to kill him afterwards because she already did it. So why would she want to do something that she already did? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand where he's going with this.
Yeah. But I agree with you as well about that kid. Firstly, there were two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just try your best to remember.
Well, the Davion, they have completely just dismissed. He's not even part of this equation in their eyes, for whatever reason.
It's so disturbing. It's so disturbing, and the reasoning that he gives just makes it so much worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For 3 months, I watched my kid cry herself to sleep, all beat up in bed, watching videos and music and pictures of this kid. For 3 months, I sat with her. Okay? The prosecution has no right saying she wasn't remorseful. There's no evidence that she wasn't.
What about the social media solicitations and what looked like she was trying to build her brand?
That she wasn't trying to build her brand. Where did that come from? That is just a fabrication and part of the narrative. She went to
Steve. I'm just pointing out what they said she was doing on social media and the DMs that they showed.
What DMs exactly did they show?
The DMs of her talking to different brands. Thank you for contacting me. I'm excited to work with you.
Oh, okay. She was in the process of becoming a model, so she was working with people. Okay, and a couple days after she was supposed to do something with the modeling. And hold on. That was something about a collaboration that was prior to the accident. That was something that was involved prior. It wasn't okay. Some of that's taken out of context. It's blown out of proportion. What is she supposed to dig a box or dig a hole and just hide in the hole the rest of her life after this?
Nobody said anything about the rest of her life, but there is a certain time period where it's appropriate to mourn. And if he's saying that she was crying for 3 months and watching videos, and then I don't know how he's reconciling that with her. Well, was she supposed to be in a box? I don't know. Like, it's not the same reasoning he just gave.
Yeah.
No, but it was right after.
Well, what does that mean? So she's not allowed to live? She's lucky to be alive.
I'm not judging it, Steve. I'm telling you what is out there.
I don't care. Listen, I don't care.
Used for the narrative and giving you a chance to explain it or contest it. But that's the job.
But it's not true. It's not completely true.
I don't know whether or not it's true. I only know what was said. I'm asking you why it was said and what it means and why it is an indicative that she had a nonchalance right after this.
It's not nonchalance. It's life. It's life. 3 months later, okay, being that the police and the courts never took her license away, never charged her with any car. She had a job interview, so we let her drive 3 months after this thing.
They let her drive.
3 months after the accident, she's back in the car.
They let her drive, like a car, like they let her drive. And you know, it's weird that she would even want to. I'm sorry, I know that's probably a little bit unfair for me to say because I guess there are people who are just different, but I can't imagine wanting, like, being okay with that, just wanting to drive to an interview.
Yeah, I think that would really, it would have scared me enough that I wouldn't want to be in a car for a while, at least as the driver, especially if that was an accident, which truly was.
Yeah. Wow, they let her drive. And of course he's saying it's not, yeah. He's saying it's not really anybody's fault except the people who didn't take her license away.
Mm. Everyone else is responsible for their daughter except them, is what I get from that statement.
Yep.
So we let her go to the interview, which she got the job. Because what, is she supposed to not do anything the rest of her life over this? Is she supposed to just turn away and shut up and never do a word? Listen, everything that's happened after this accident, a lot of it's been blown out of proportion. And it's unfortunate that the internet is allowed to run rampant with their nonsense. Okay, I don't care what anybody says about me. I'm a big boy. I can take anything they say. I don't care. I really don't care. Unless you're in my boat, I don't care. Sorry, say what you want, make little memes, blah blah blah, go crazy. Okay, I don't care. You have fun. Okay, you're the people out there are what's making this continue on and on and on. But the problem here isn't what I did. It's not what she did after the fact. It's what the court did to her. It's what the prosecution did to her, and it's the lack of evidence that is there. Now, black box information, sure. If you got the car did this, the car did that, put the car in jail. But you have no evidence of why, and you can't just say.
Imagine every time somebody does, like, commits this crime, they just put the weapon in jail. Just like right, yeah, we're just gonna put the weapon in jail. It was completely inanimate.
Yeah, it makes complete sense.
I mean, a vehicle is a weapon. It needs to be operated by a person.
Say, well, the science says she was going fast, so that's intent. That is absolute BS. Okay, and many lawyers that we've spoke to have agreed with that. I would think,
but not the appellate court and not the Supreme Court.
Oh,
listen, hold on. I came
problem.
into this saying to you, Steve, listen, I didn't cover this, okay? And I didn't because, it was a tragic circumstance, but there are lots of tragic circumstances, and you got to make choices in my business.
Gotcha.
But now that I'm analyzing crimes, I gave it fresh eyes. And the fact that they didn't argue diminished capacity when she had THC in her system, the fact that they chose a bench trial, and the fact that they did not put on any significant case in chief for the defense is why the judge had the opportunity to decide as she did.
Yes, I agree with your assessment on what the lawyer did and did not do. I totally agree. Yeah, this is where our dilemma is. We need help fixing this because there was a problem here with the lawyer.
But you have new lawyers now. Why did the appellate court and the Supreme Court refuse to acknowledge all that you're saying? My understanding is this is how it was addressed to me with the second set of lawyers that we got, that we're not going to get any relief in Cuyahoga County because that is how Cuyahoga County is. Okay, right, wrong, or whatever. I don't know why the appellate court brought to attention the illegal proceeding of changing that coroner's report, and then never did anything about it. Okay, I don't know. You'd have to ask them because they didn't believe it was reversible error, meaning that they may not have followed the strict procedure of how to do it, but the findings were there.
If it would have been a jury, it would have biased the jury.
I wish you'd let him finish there because that was kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What is reversible error? Let me look that up. Huh.
Judge wasn't already biased, it would have biased the judge. That's where the problem goes. Mind you, I don't think it would have biased the judge because I believe she was already biased before she walked in that courtroom. And she said, "I don't have a blood relation," and that's to me is all it takes. She has other relationships with that family, and that's it. And nobody's going to tell me differently. In fact, when this first happened, we had heard on the internet, mind you, this is what I heard. Somebody sent a note or it was posted someplace that the. Sorry.
What is that?
It's my phone. It's a phone ring. Anyway, sorry.
That's your ringtone.
It's for a friend.
I got such a fright. I thought I thought there was something wrong with your cat again. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. So that's his ringtone?
Yeah. No, wasn't my cat. It's good old Steve. Not letting us down.
Oh my god. Give me such a fright. Okay. Okay. All right. So that I didn't imagine that, right?
I
That's
just
his
want to
ringtone.
say real quick, if you know you have those kind of ringtones and you're doing an interview like this, why would you not put your phone on silent or vibrate?
Oh my goodness. You know how stressed I am just before our live stream? I'm like, okay, put it silent and do not disturb and turn the volume down and like, oh my god. Okay. I mean, I suppose it couldn't get any worse now. Like nobody's gonna take it seriously.
You would think so.
Oh
We
my
are
God.
talking about Steve Shirilla.
I need to hear that again. I'm sorry. I know everyone else has heard this, but I need to hear that.
Oh, it's
That-
great. I could listen to it 100 times.
All it takes. She has other relationships with that family, and that's it. And nobody's going to tell me differently. In fact, when this first happened, we had heard on the internet, mind you, this is what I heard. Somebody sent a note or it was posted someplace that the. Sorry.
What is that?
It's my phone. It's a phone ring. Anyway, sorry.
That's your ringtone.
It's for a friend of mine. It's a
Keeping
friend. Sorry, I don't mean to
Christmas.
smile. I'm not. making
Yeah.
light of it.
Steve, I'm not here to judge you. I'm here.
He's been saying that the whole time. He's like, but I mean, there he really is there to judge him. There he should be judged for that. He should. That is judgeable.
Oh, it's
Is
great.
this what you guys were telling me not to see?
We've been waiting for you to see that. It's
Oh my
been so
God.
hard not to tell you.
I'm gonna have bad dreams. You know, it's nighttime here. Oh my god.
Oh, is
That
it
was
really?
terrifying. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
wow.
like 10 to 7 p.m. It's that was scary. Even I'm turning pink and it's not my ringtone. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Well done, everyone. Oh my god. Okay. Moving swiftly along. Hello, Miss Cosmos. We hope you're doing well today. CJ. That was scary. That's his ringtone. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not the only one hearing that for the first time because oh my god. Yes, thank you everyone for being here and enduring that. I'm still turning pink. It's not even my ringtone. Oh my god.
Well,
to go
but I'm
through
gonna,
these
but I'm going to be judged. It's not you. Then I'm not going to worry about it. It's what I say and how it's going to be taken. This will be a meme somewhere else. I'm not smiling because I find this funny. I'm not smiling, and I find this
Me too.
asinine that this is going on. And not that I'm talking to you. Everything that's been said and done is just unbelievable, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I just don't get it. And and it's just smoke and mirrors to hide the fact that my daughter was unjustly charged. And we can argue this till you're blue in the face until someone can
I'm
show
not
me.
arguing with you. I'm asking you for your perspective on it. Do you believe that your daughter has any responsibility for what happened?
Look, she was driving. As a driver in Ohio, you have responsibility. Yes, she was a driver. But if she had a heart attack, hypothetical, if she had a heart attack in that car that caused this accident, is she
We'd have a
responsible?
very different situation.
if she had had a heart attack, there would be evidence of such heart attack.
Right.
Um,
Why is he? That's not what happened. So that it doesn't even matter. Why would he say that?
Yeah, and honestly, like I think that if she had had a heart attack, she would not be accelerating to such an extent. So if there's a medical
Mhm.
condition that makes you accelerate the car, then that's the one they need to find
Yeah.
because that's heart attack's not going to help. Not going to help his case there.
Well,
an
I'm
accident.
using this as an example. What
And
if
it's an accident.
Okay, what if she did? What if we could prove that her POTS caused her to pass out and she seized, and it caused
Then
the
it would be an
accident?
accident.
Like if they could prove that, they would have by now. He's the one who's like, "Well, it's been 4 years. Why is it taking 4 years?" Okay.
Yeah, he's pushing for us to believe something that's just no one obviously is believing it.
Yeah, and
You
it's
had
not
a
even
lawyer
like-
who I don't think believed it.
Yeah, and I think that's what it comes down to is that this lawyer is so bad and was clicking their pen and shouldn't be allowed in the courtroom again. It's just because they didn't go along with what they wanted. And he keeps saying the lawyer did nothing for her. No, the lawyer did what he or she could, but just because they didn't like get her exonerated and she walked free and carried on with her life, that doesn't mean that they did nothing for her. It just means that there wasn't much they could do.
Right.
Yeah. This guy. I don't know. I just. I has he done any interviews since this? Has he stopped now?
I haven't seen anything else pop up since this. I personally haven't, so I don't know. I would hope
Yeah.
not. I would hope this would have been a lesson learned for him. Finally, just
Yeah. I feel like that. Like he has to be able to see now. Like he has to be able to watch this and say, okay, this is just not. Tell his producer. This is not what I should be doing. This is not
Right.
working. Like,
What if we can prove that either one boy or the other boy did something in the car that caused the accident?
Then she would not have the intent, or maybe not the act to trigger a charge.
What if we can prove that the car malfunctioned? This is hypothetical. I'm not.
Then it was an accident.
Okay.
And maybe there's a
But there's-
case against the manufacturer.
Okay. So, with those 4 things or 3 things that I brought up here, the POTS, the car, the boys, the other, okay? One of those 4 or 5 things, or a combination of several, she wouldn't be responsible. Yes, she should have been charged with vehicular homicide. She's the driver of the car. She has the responsibility as the driver. Listen, if you can prove to me that she did this with intent and purpose, then she's right where she belongs. I get it.
That's what
It's
they get from the
horrible.
texts where she says, I feel like killing someone. I want to bang my head against it. Dom saying that he needs space. Her saying no.
That's not proof of intent. That is, how many have you ever said to anybody, "Oh my God, I'm going to kill you"?
Yes.
Okay. And if they died, should you be charged with murder?
I think if he was there and driving, then maybe it should be looked at.
yeah. There's a big coincidence as she was speaking about it before.
Yeah.
Have you noticed he seems to do everything he can to not say the name Dom or Davion when they're speaking
Yeah.
about this?
Yeah, he does. And
The boy, it's the boys.
the
or
boys,
them.
the kid. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's for like a psychological reason, but just it's so disrespectful ethically.
Well, not only that, but Dom was a big part of their family. If you've listened to the way they have known Don, and I don't understand why you wouldn't want to speak his name.
Yeah. And his family, both of their families. I mean, you can tell, even if you've only watched the Netflix documentary, they are going through a lot. And I just can imagine how much harder it is every time one of these interviews comes up, because in a sense that they're trying to put themselves as the victim. Okay, I get it. They're saying that they're the victim of corruption or something, but they're completely disregarding that there's other and much more severe victims in the situation.
Right. Their daughter is still alive in here.
Yeah.
No, but I'd have to explain it.
Oh, okay. It's an analogy. I don't know how many times I've probably said, "Oh my God, I'm going to freaking kill you." over something stupid. It doesn't mean I'm going to kill you. And some of the stuff they used against her, like the thing that happened 2 weeks before, the supposed where she threatened to crash the car, that didn't happen. She did not threaten to crash that car.
How do you know?
Because we've got text messages that state otherwise. My understanding is that they had an argument in the car. Dominic grabbed the wheel. It almost caused the car to crash. So my daughter pulled over, told him to get the hell out of the car. And then there's text back and forth with Dominic's mother, my wife, stating it. And I could send those to you if you'd like to see them. They're in the.
Sure.
They're in. Okay, I could send them to you. I can't
They're
do it
out
right
there.
Yeah, I know that. And that is what happened. And then we got him apologizing, this and that. So he did that. That was not my daughter. And then Christine, in the process of my daughter saying, "Come get your kid," or she's going to call me. She sent this guy named Christopher Martin to go fetch him. In the trial, Christopher Martin perjured himself, and he said that he went to get Dominic. He was driving, and I don't know how he got from where he was living to that car to get behind them to hear her say that is a lie. What happened was they were already pulled over. Okay, Christopher Martin pulled up behind her. He says that he was on the phone with Dom. He was not on the phone with Dom because in the interview that are on Crime Circus that the detective did with Christine Russo, she says, "I was on the phone with Dom until Christopher got there."
Right.
Okay. That's true. That happened. That is a fact. Okay. Christopher Martin lied. He said he pulled up while they were going. He was on the phone with Dom and he heard her say, "I'm going to crash this car." Then they pulled over. She was already pulled over. In the text messages that my wife and my sister-in-laws, we got off her phone and then we got off my wife's phone, state that. And the prosecution knew it. It still put let me call him Hench because this is the felon that lives in Christine Russo's basement. Okay. So a sitting judge took the word of a 7-time felon. Our lawyer did nothing to counter it because
that's your problem.
I
you
agree.
say it now, but it didn't happen in trial.
And that's why we're arguing this. I should have been arguing this right from day one. This is where we need help. This is what we're looking for. We're looking for help because an injustice was done to my daughter. A witness perjured himself on the stand. How do I fix that? But there's no way of fixing it because I got a judge because every appeal goes back to her court. It goes back to her court and she gets to decide. And the reason she's not going to go against her because her ego, okay? And she's either biased, she's on the take, or she's in.
Well, when you appeal, it will go to other judges. And if they order a new trial,
it goes right back to her court. So if the appellate court would have said this is going to go back to trial, it goes right back to Margaret Russo's court.
Right, but then you would.
But I mean, the point is that they didn't say it was necessary for it to go back to her, right? I mean,
right. Well, can't you also request a new judge in a new trial?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the rules would be. Like, I know that there was a situation with a case here in South Africa long ago. It was the Oscar Pistorius case, and I think that there was an appeal process. I stand corrected on the details. This was like over 10 years ago, but I think that it did go back to the original judge. So that's happened. It happened here, but I don't know what the rule would be there. But I mean, the point is that it wasn't deemed necessary for it to go back to anyone. So I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah,
she's got to recuse herself.
Well, we did that at this trial because of the last name. And she said,
I know, but that's not
a blood relation, which is a lie.
That's not a thing. I mean, there are a lot of people named Russo.
Yeah, but not in Cuyahoga County. They're all related. And I'm sorry, if it's not with Christine Russo, it's with somebody else that's connected to her. Look.
Okay, like I said earlier, that's his basis. It's the last name Russo. So, I mean, is he now going to start saying that there's a Russo in the police, with Netflix, the lawyer? Like, surely if there was some huge injustice and nepotism, as he's trying to imply, other people would have called it out by now. But they're all standing by this conviction.
Yeah, he's going to have to get over that, I think.
Again, I have just as much proof that there's a conspiracy or a fix or a favor that they had that my daughter did this with purpose. Sorry, that's it. And if you don't want to believe it, that's fine.
No, listen, it's not about what I believe. I'm here to give you an opportunity to say what you mean and to test why you believe it. Okay. And that's what I hope you understand that I'm doing. What just came out from what came out from TMZ where they grabbed audio from prison phone calls, where Natalie is criticizing the family of Dom's family,
Yeah,
calling
she
them
is.
evil. What is that
Just
about?
because- let's see. For 4 years, there hasn't been a peep out of them for the most part. My understanding, there's a half sister, a Christine Russo Jr., and I don't want to talk bad about the family at all. I understand their anger and I understand they lost somebody, but to go online and badmouth anyone who's defending my daughter makes them look bad to me. Okay.
Whoa,
That-
you're going online and like bad mouthing anybody who says she's guilty. Like the whole world is in
Wow.
on it. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
all of the horrible things he said. My goodness, that was just awful. He should have
Yeah.
just stopped himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's no different to what he's doing is way worse.
Yes,
way worse.
Yeah,
I mean, he's jeopardizing, calling people's careers and ethics into question just because they were doing their job and he didn't like the outcome.
Yeah.
And now he's insulting families who really lost someone.
hmm
Okay, and my wife is talking to my daughter, and it was a private conversation. I won't say it's a private conversation. It's a conversation between my wife and my daughter, and it has nothing to do with anybody else. And if she, and it's unfortunate that the Russo family or others have been saying the stuff they're saying. Again, nobody knows my wife, nobody knows me, nobody knows my daughter, and the make past judgment on us is just narrow-minded nonsense from internet trolls. I mean, hey, make your podcast, say what you want. Again, it's unfortunate, and like I said, I feel for the families. I don't know what they want me to do. Should I wear a black dress and a veil the rest of my life? Look, I'm sorry Dominic and Davion passed away in this accident. And that is all this was
You're
an
not.
accident. And it's unfortunate and it's tragic. And I can't imagine their pain in that. I can't. I'm sorry. But at some point, I have to defend my daughter. My daughter who was wrongly convicted.
Yeah.
If she would have been charged with vehicular homicide and put in 5 years or whatever, then she got what she deserved. There's no proof to change that. Vehicular homicide is when someone dies when you're in a car accident, and there's no other answer. And there is no other answer in this case. Just because you want it to be murder doesn't mean that it is. Just because you don't
want it to be doesn't mean it isn't.
like my daughter doesn't mean she's guilty of murder. Just because you don't like what you see on the internet about my daughter doesn't mean that it's murder. That's speculation. That is reckless speculation on anybody's part. Mind you, I don't know what happened. I don't. I wasn't in the car. And unless you were in that car, you have no business saying you know what happened. Tim Troop, the prosecutor, in that video said, I ruled everything out. Ruled what out? He didn't. What evidence did you use to rule things out? He was going for one thing and one thing only. The detective, 3 or 4 days later, had one idea what it was. He wasn't looking anywhere else. He wasn't finding any other information. Okay, that's not. The detective had a one-track mind. And the detective on the stand said, I don't know what happened. And the lead prosecutor, Michael Malley, is on camera saying, nobody will ever know what happened. So if the three main people finding the evidence don't know what happened, how do you charge somebody? I don't. Speculation is not evidence. It's guessing.
Speculation is not evidence, but probable cause is a very low standard, and they definitely had probable cause to charge. Beyond a reasonable doubt is a different standard, and the judge found it, and then you have the right to appeal, and the
judge ignored
court upheld it.
She didn't found it. She ignored it. She outright ignored it. Okay. When my understanding, when her lawyer tried to object to things, she just overruled. Is it overruled? When she?
Yes.
Okay. She overruled almost everything he objected to. Look, I don't know if he was just, again, I don't know what he did. I don't, hindsight with him, I just wish I would have chosen a different lawyer. I wish I would have chosen a different set of lawyers the second time for the appel. I don't know how, as a lawyer, you don't know how to read a calendar. Mind you, I don't think it was late. I don't think it was a day late. I don't think the second set of lawyers did a bad job. I think they were right on what they were saying. But for the prosecution to say it was a day late in a leap year when my lawyer didn't have all the transcripts available to him that were asked, and there's no leeway. Oh, it was late, so that's it. It's unfortunate.
Are you open to not being able to see this any other way because this is the love of your life?
Listen, I'm her father. I'm biased. It's my daughter. any parent should be this way. But if you can show me actual evidence, not speculation, that my daughter did this with purpose, intent, or prior calculation, then she is right where she belongs. Now, the bind-over judge, the juvenile judge.
The intent is found by, this is what the judge said. The intent is found by the lack of her trying to do anything to avoid it and doing what caused it.
For 4 seconds in a car that was already out of control, that had side airbags going off. Yeah, that's all the information you got. We don't know. Nobody knows why. Everybody keeps going back, well, they're scientific. The car was, you don't have any evidence from 4.74 seconds back to that turn, to that first turn.
Right. We just disagree on what that amount of time can reveal at that rate of acceleration, which I think is a lot. And you say not enough.
Our car guy said that the car was going fast. The car thought it was flipping over. The recorder went on. The airbags went off. The car hit the sign, veered into the wall. She did not drive directly into that wall. Okay, mind you, I think she just lost whatever was going on in the car. She lost track on that road. That's what I find more believable than what the prosecution's narrative of the story was. It makes.
He did change what he was saying there, where he was like, I think she just, and then made it again that it was the car doing it without her knowing, so they can arrest the car. It kind of makes me feel like, what does he actually think?
Right.
Yeah.
Makes more sense to me. And we also have a medical examiner that looked at her blood work and her stuff that said so much that it was probably a medical episode with POTS. We've got that. And that was in the
I think you had a better chance of arguing before a jury, at least, that it had something to do not with POTS, but pot, because of the THC content that she had in her blood, and argue in diminished capacity and whatever else she could relay about the events. But that's not how it went.
Well, she doesn't remember the events, so that's
what she says.
Okay, so
I like how he says that. That's what she said.
Nobody knows what happened in the car. I can't make her remember. And mind you, she's never wavered in that statement. Why? If you knew you were going to jail for life, wouldn't you lie?
One would hope not.
Exactly. Just remember he said that.
Okay. Yeah.
If you were going away for life, wouldn't you lie?
Yes, you would. You would say you don't remember for the exact amount of time that you like. It's extremely convenient. Like that type of memory loss, I don't think actually fits with what happened, because it's the exact time that she just needs to not remember.
Right. It's not any time, usually you don't remember larger chunks of before and after.
Yeah.
From what I understand. So she's just, she's narrowed it down to a timeline that is obvious. And now he's saying, if you're going to be facing life in prison, wouldn't you lie? So is he trying to admit, maybe guilty conscience, that they've lied?
Well,
because she was facing life in prison.
I mean, I don't even know. I think maybe he's just like really short-sighted and just not. I don't want to say. Okay, he's just not very smart. Like that's the only way I can put it. Like that was. Like he's just showing that it's in his character and probably in the character of his family to do that, to lie, and we know that's what they did.
Yeah.
So, CJ says Russo name does hold weight in Cleveland. Russo's everywhere. Oh. Okay. Well, I mean that kind of would explain the coincidence that maybe the judge would be a Russo as well, because there's Russos everywhere, so they're not the minority. I don't know if that helps.
Did you come up with at least a story? There's no witnesses. She's the only witness. Dominic Russo, Davian Flanagan attacked me in the car. I passed out. Someone hit me.
I can't explain it, but it certainly worked against her. I'll give you that.
Absolutely, because her lawyer did nothing for her, and I this is why I feel it's a conspiracy. That's why I feel she was railroaded. This is why, look, Tim Troop and Christine Russo are friends. Christine Russo worked in the prosecutor's office. She knows that she worked there. Don't tell me there's no favors, and don't tell me there's no relationship. I'm not saying blood. I'm saying relationship. There is a friend of something with the Russo family and that judge. And she can say, I don't have a blood relationship all the time. The grand jury judge was a Russo. The bindover judge was an O'Malley. The head prosecutor's an O'Malley.
I know, but just because they have the same names doesn't mean the same thing. But I want to go back over one thing, Steve, just so it's a little clearer for people, because it got a little convoluted. The text chain, and you have a lot of information and context about it. This one particular part of Dominic's mother, July 17, 2022. It starts, you know all this already, but for the audience, can you come get Dom? He just grabbed my steering wheel on the highway, trying to spin out my car and hurt me. I'm scared to drive because it's raining, so I just need him to get picked up. If he doesn't get out of my car, I'm calling my dad, so please get him out. Hench is on his way. Calm down for something, for whatever. For now, please. To be honest, I can't calm down when he just tried to end my life. Then he lied to you about it. I'm not trying to diffuse for now. I'm not mad at anyone. And then the next one is, just to give everybody the record, I don't think he's capable of that. This is your daughter, I believe. When he keeps telling me to shut up and to duct tape my mouth, I don't feel safe. He is also threatening to blackmail me to my mom. He's not getting out of the car. He also blocked me, so I can't go pick up any of my belongings at his house. I hope this is a learning experience for him on what not to do to a woman, because I really don't think he knows how to treat them at all. Stop the fighting and stop lying. When he gets his things, you can get yours. And then there's one more. First of all, I'm not lying about anything. Maybe you shouldn't take his word so seriously. You don't know how he treats me behind closed doors. It's never okay to try to end somebody's life or put their hands on people. No one should touch anyone. No fighting for sure in the car. He never put his hands on you. This is the mom. You need to tell him that. He tried to end my life today and told me, do you want to die? I almost hit the wall and I could have died. And she says, and you haven't blackmailed him with the cops 100 times? This was a shitty relationship.
It was.
Yeah. It was.
It really was.
Yeah. I mean, that's something I think that we can all just agree on, like that. But I didn't remember her saying there. I knew about the car and end her life and all of that, but I didn't remember hit the wall. So that I'm a little taken aback by that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the first time I'd seen that.
Ms. Cosmos says, was the family aware of who the judge was prior to the trial? I don't think so. I don't know, but the impression that he gives in this interview is that he keeps saying hindsight is 2020, like he didn't really know things. But I am assuming he would have seen her name somewhere and wanted to find out more about it. So maybe.
Mind you, I don't like the word volatile. They were.
That's a shitty relationship, Steve. That's what the mother of the boyfriend and your daughter.
That's a shitty moment in a relationship. That is not how the whole relationship went. That was an everyday thing. That's a fight. That's a fight amongst young kids who don't know any better. Mind you, I'm not saying it doesn't correlate to this. It doesn't mean the whole relationship was bad. I watched this.
That's concerning, because that is the justification of a lot of people who are excusing, frankly, just abusive relationships. So they'll be like, well, sometimes it's okay. It's not. Yeah, okay. Obviously, they're gonna argue, or that's not the same as that.
Right. And the excuse, just because you were mad, it is not okay. I don't know how true that is about duct taping her mouth, but my goodness. If a man was talking to my teenage daughter like that, I think I'd be pretty upset. So yeah. I don't know how true that statement is, but yeah, you can't explain away certain things and expect people to be safe.
Yeah, and that is what he's doing. He's trying to explain it away.
Could take my daughter to dinner. I watched him come over and cook for her. He went on vacation with us. He was at all our family functions. This kid treated my wife with respect. He treated me with respect. Now, I'm the dad and I'm always the last one to know. I ended up having to go over to the house and get his stuff. And if I'd have known what had happened, there may have been bigger issues. But I didn't know this happened till after the accident. You know, what you just read, that back and forth. There'd be more to this, but Christine Russo lawyered up Dominic's phone so the police couldn't get anything off of it. And I don't know why she lawyered up that phone that way. So
And that was Mackenzie, obviously, not your wife. That was Mackenzie and Dom's mom.
Yes, that's off on Mackenzie's phone. But there's also more with Mackenzie talking to my wife too about it.
Okay.
There's more to it. So it's Mackenzie talk. It's the text thread from Mackenzie talking to Dominic's mom, and there's a text thread of Mackenzie talking to my wife. So that the events that they used in trial didn't happen. That's Christopher Martin, aka Hench, because he gets things done, lied in court. He lied, and again, there's nothing I can do about it because the lawyer didn't do what he was supposed to do. And what am I supposed to do? Unfortunately, my daughter gets hurt by what the lawyer she had. The first lawyer did nothing for her. The lawyer strong-armed her into having a bench trial over jury. How do I fix that? His bad decisions, his inability to defend her hurt my daughter. Now
Yeah. I mean, that is a theme with him. I'm not even surprised anymore. Like, what was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to do? I don't know what he was supposed to do, but it's just never his fault. Miss Cosmos says her dad obviously feels like it was a fixed outcome, but I would think if they knew who the judge was, they would have requested a different judge or moving the trial to a different county. Yeah, I agree. I mean, look at what happened with Idaho 4 and how they wanted things moved, right? So I mean, that's how they ended up in Ada County. It happens. That's how that was done. Kip Kitty says, I believe lawyers are aware. Yes. Yeah, and more than aware, they know them. They know, like, they've had a working relationship with that presiding officer. It's not just like, you know, oh wow, okay, good to meet you. They've probably worked together before. Which is why
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, which is probably why the lawyer was like, this judge won't buy this.
Well, yeah, I don't think that the attorney they had a fighting chance in a jury. I don't think so. And I think he knew that. But I also don't believe that they were bullied into this bench trial quite as bad as they say they were. I think they knew enough to know that a jury of her peers was not going to end well. No. But because they didn't get the outcome they wanted, now they were bullied into it, and it's not their fault. And, you know, we are such victims.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, in all honesty, like, had there been a jury trial, it would have just been like the same story.
Yeah. I think it would have ended up worse for her. Because I think there would have been a lot more that came out about Mackenzie herself that just would not have went well.
Yeah. And what I mean by the same story is he would be sitting there now going, the whole jury was biased, and they were all Russo's second cousins, and
they didn't call the right witnesses, and now look, it would have just been an excuse after excuse, but.
Yeah. Thank you for joining, Kip Kitty. Thank you so much.
Oh, bye.
Okay, yeah, so we have a little bit left. This has been...
It's a lot to unpack. You wouldn't think so, but he says a lot without saying a lot, too.
Yeah. Yeah, and I kind of almost wonder, because he wants to be the one who's like, well, I don't know. My wife knows. It's like, it's just easier. Like, he finds it more easy to deny things. Like, that's probably why she doesn't even want to be there, because then they can just point to somebody who's not there who might know. But I mean, she's there. So why don't you just ask her instead of saying, oh, my wife would know? She's there.
Yeah, she's made it very apparent that she's there. She's made all of us a little nervous. We know she's there.
She's basically like writing him like cue cards. Like, don't say that. Say that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost an awkward, uncomfortable feeling watching him trying to please her and answer questions. It's just an awkward interview.
And that in itself says so much. So much. Yeah.
Second set of lawyers, being late, either it was or it wasn't, okay, hurt my daughter. The law firm doesn't get a slap on the wrist. They don't get fined. They get away scot-free. You know who suffers? My daughter. And if that could have got in, maybe she would be free. Maybe she would have got another trial. Okay. Now, you asked the question about the process of the appeal, the state level. The Ohio State Appellate Court looks at that much. They don't look at anything really. The second set of lawyers says if we're going to get any relief in this court or in the courts, it's going to be at the federal level. That's what was expressed to us. We weren't going to get anywhere in Cuyahoga County because how Cuyahoga County works, and I don't want to call them corrupt, but wink, wink. The state only looks at a few things, and in a year, and so we have to wait to get to the federal. I got to get it away from elected officials, and that's what our lawyers suggested to us. We have to get it away from the elected officials or the elected seats on the court. So, like. Again, I understand there's 4.74 seconds of black box information, and it's nonlinear, and it shows that she didn't brake supposedly, and it shows that the gas pedal was down and that the car was going fast. I get it, okay? But that doesn't tell me why. And why is way more important than, well, the car was doing this. That.
Okay, he's still doing that. Miss Cosmo says... I just checked in Ohio, and it does say that the attorney is aware of who the judge is prior to the start of the trial. Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Cosmo.
Yes, thank you. He should have checked. He should have just checked.
Black box doesn't say why. It never will. It just never will. And I'm sorry if that upsets the families. And I'm sorry if it upsets the families that we're trying to defend and free our daughter. That's my job as a parent. I love my kid. Okay. Am I being biased? No, because I got enough common sense to look at the facts, and I've looked at everything, and I've reread it and gone over it and talked to this person or talked to that person, hash this out.
I can't.
We are looking for help. We are looking for anyone. He
said him, and common sense in the same sentence.
Yeah, he actually said that.
He did. Shame. Okay. CJ, I agree 100%. It's everyone's fault, but it's not their daughter's fault. It's not their fault either. They'll be like, well, she was maybe taking them. I didn't know. Okay. Nobody asked if you know.
That can help us. Okay, I'm sorry. I feel my daughter was unjustly charged. She was unjustly tried, and she was. And I believe the judge made an error. I don't believe the judge acted in good faith. I think there's judicial misconduct in this case.
Well, you can think it, but the standard is whether or not you can prove it. And it has not been done with any measure of satisfaction.
I think some of it I can prove, and if you don't have evidence,
but then you'll do it in court. That's the only place it counts.
And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get it back in court.
Have you done anything to try to get Mackenzie's memory restored? Have you ever tried any hypnosis or had her work with a memory specialist?
I'm going to say TMZ. Good old Harvey wants to. We talked about that. I don't know if that's going to do any good. Sure, if they want to try that and she's up to it and her lawyer's up to it, fine. I have nothing to hide, and I don't believe she does either. I believe she truly doesn't remember. I know my daughter, and I know when she's not telling the truth. I can see it in her face. There's something in her expression, something in her eyes. What do you want me to say? I'm not going to vilify my daughter.
I'm not asking you to. I'm just asking you to. I'm just giving you what I did this for, Steve, is I agree with you that I don't think that the case was about why to the satisfaction of anybody. It's easy to draw conclusions. That's the nature. That's the nature of humanity, is people judge. But I wanted to give people an opportunity to understand this in a different way and have a new set of questions. And that's why I wanted to give you the opportunity.
We're going to get some. They're going to look at this subjectively or objectively. And that's all I'm asking people to do. I don't want to change anybody's mind. Look, I don't want my opinion out of your mouth. I want you to go look at what I'm talking about. And if I'm telling you that the detective from Strongsville on camera, on an audio recorder, says, I am not putting this in evidence, when Dominic Russo's mom says, no one's going to see this, right? To me, that's an issue. That's an issue of misconduct. That is an admission of admittance. When the lead detective who found all this evidence or the speculation or this whatever says, I don't know what happened. How do you charge somebody on I don't know what happened? You got a lead prosecutor on camera saying nobody knows what really happened. They don't know what happened. You got the prosecutor in the documentary, in between his reflecting picture, his glory picture, and him walking down the hall, says, we ruled everything else out. I want to know how and what evidence they use to rule everything else out. They did.
I just want to ask, do you think he's kind of jealous that Netflix didn't get a picture of him and a nice video of him walking down a hall, and he's like just upset that they didn't offer, and that's what this is really about? He's just like, they went and put him down the hallway, and like, he got all the good angles, and it's not fair. That's what he's upset about, because he's mentioned that like 3 times. I swear
he's like a child about that.
I know.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. And if you get a habeas corpus and federal relief and they take the case, you'll have another opportunity for your lawyers to make this. But that's what the trial was for. The trial was to vet what the prosecution put up as proof.
I get it.
And why?
Well, the burden of proof is on the prosecution. And,
that's right.
And I'm going to say, even though my hindsight is 20/20 with Jim McDonald, the lawyer, I would hope that he looked at the evidence as a lawyer and saw there's nothing here. They don't have a case of purpose or prior.
Well, look, I'm happy to talk to him about it.
No, he won't talk to you. It's going to make him look bad, and he's going to lose business. But
the only reason to go for a bench trial here is because you believe it's a technical case and that you can win on the data and that the judge will understand it in a way that a jury may not. That's the only thing that makes sense.
I wish I would have known that before it was done. I wish I would have had if I'd have known we can get that changed, I would have been all over my daughter telling her. I was surprised when it came back to me that, mind you, and I didn't find out that he argued with her, or you're going against my better judgment. And this guy's a big guy. My daughter is 90 pounds, 100 pounds wet. Okay. She just turned 18. She's a kid. She's still a kid. And they have this big burly man argue with her that, it's a bad idea. I'm sorry. They would have never found 12 people to buy the prosecution's case.
Well, you're not going to know now. I mean, unless you get a retrial, because that was the decision that you guys made.
That's my problem with this. There's so many things I feel were done wrong to my daughter. I believe there's an injustice with how the lawyer acted. I believe there's an injustice how the detective omitted evidence and is on camera saying he's going to do as much. I have a problem with how the appellate court brought attention to an illegal proceeding and then did nothing about it. And the argument was it wouldn't have mattered. You don't know if it would matter unless it goes back to court. And you can't just say, well, it wouldn't have mattered. And for something to be a day late with a leap year and trial transcripts not getting there on time, that should have been taken into consideration. But again, I believe the appellate courts were just protecting one of their own. And that's my understanding of how Howard County works.
Again, so you can feel any way you want. Administration of justice is about only knowing what we can show. And I'm happy to offer you the opportunity now and going forward, whatever happens next.
But they didn't show any evidence of purpose. There's none. And the evidence they did use is a lie. It's sorry. I don't know what anybody else wants me to say.
Steve, I don't want you to say anything. I wanted to give you the opportunity to say what you think and why.
And I am saying why and what. Okay.
I got it.
Okay. Sorry. Like I said, I get what you're doing, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate the platform for it. But it is what it is. And again, until you can show me actual evidence, then I'm not going to believe it. Her mother's not going to believe it. Her family, my friends. And if the rest of the world wants to think she's guilty and hell on wheels and blah, 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 hey, knock yourselves out. Okay. What do you want me to do?
Okay.
All that matters in these situations is what the justice system says.
Well, the justice system
not
is
the
wrong.
people online. But Steve,
again,
I am a call away for whatever happens next. And I will do just like I did here. I know it's not comfortable to be tested on these things, but that's the job. And I'll offer the opportunity whenever you want.
I appreciate that. And and if more comes out, I'd be more than happy to talk to you about it. But like I said, if you want to vilify me for backing my daughter, go. Well, I can't stop you. Go crazy. Okay.
Steve, what it's going to be is what you and I just experienced here. That's what I'm putting out. Okay.
Great. Yep.
All right. Thank you for taking the opportunity. Thank your wife as well. And again, make sure she knows I wasn't boxing her out from this.
No, I know. Well, she didn't want to be on camera. We got it.
That's fine. That's fine. That's our choice. Okay.
And again, I appreciate your time or offering me
All right.
this time. Thanks.
Steve, I'm here. You know how to get me.
Okay, we're good.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, that's how. I that was almost cute the way he was like, just thank your wife. Oh wow.
Yeah. So apparently, everything that we've heard is a lie. She had no intent. She's innocent. They're victims, and I don't know. I don't believe any of
The
that.
car should be arrested. That was my
Right.
favorite.
That was another
Yeah.
one. Yeah, the car should be arrested.
Oh, and with a ringtone like that, I actually admire that he was able to carry on and like took
With a
himself
straight face.
seriously. Because if that happened to me, I would be like, listen, I have to go. I have to like.
Yeah, I would have been humiliated, embarrassed. Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, but
Okay,
it's attention seeking for them. Everyone's looking
Yeah.
at him, so I don't think it bothered him too much.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems that they're not really like very good at reflecting on their own behavior. I mean, it's amazing that they have each other. I guess that's like the best way to.
He's probably too afraid to leave.
I would say so.
I think she would make his life a living hell.
I think
I
that's
could see
yeah.
it.
I think that is something like a serious thing. And I don't mean to
She
laugh
tells
at that
him
kind of thing,
he's
but
fine. He's happy. He's fine. She tells him.
Yeah, that was pretty incredible. Oh my, Judge Simpson's is to you. Can you imagine? Oh my gosh, Toyota.
But I thought it was interesting. He did bring up that the airbags deployed before the crash because I've heard his wife try and say that before also. But there's no evidence. And I know they don't believe in the black box, but that's mechanical evidence. And it doesn't show that happened. So that's twice now they've tried to put that out in the ether to see who believes it and who doesn't.
Yeah, and I mean they do that with a lot of things. They just kind of want to see what will stick.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, they're trying everything they can. They shouldn't. It's just not working. I think that the most dignified thing to do at this point would be to just accept what's happened, take responsibility, try somehow. I mean, they still have another daughter, right? Like, try and learn something.
They could try again.
No, I don't mean that.
Do over. I know.
I mean, I'm not even going to say what I mean.
Well, that first one didn't go too well.
It didn't. It really didn't.
No, I know it. I do know what you're saying.
Yeah. So, thank you so much to everyone who was here. I would like to highlight Jennifer's link one more time. Thank you so much. It was I understand why you guys didn't want me to watch ahead of time because that made my week. Thank you. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you to Steve.
No, I'm glad I could be here and watch it with you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone. And thanks again to Jennifer. I'm going to end the show there, and we're going to be back tomorrow. We're going to be discussing some stuff with the Anna Kepner case. I know that we were going to do a combined show, but then when I started putting stuff together for Anna Kepner, there was too much. Oh. So I didn't want to have to cram another case in at the end. So I think we can reserve that for another day. Yes. All right. Well, thanks again. We'll see you all tomorrow. We'll confer on the time, but I think it should be 9:30 Central.
Got it. I'll do my math and figure out what time that is for me.
Yeah. Just Google it. Google. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Bye, everyone.